Time for the grand final. We have Korea against Korea. Alderac Pass, our first map. Best of 7, everybody. So $2,500 are on the line for the teams that are still remaining. We had 8 teams in total, 2 Chinese teams, 6 Korean teams, and now we're heading into the final match. And it's pretty much Team Kyocha against Team Lockdown. So that was obviously a captain's draft for the Korean teams. So we got the 2 going up against each other in our final match, and it's a best of 7 that kicks off on Alderac, which has been played quite a bit. I would expect the Malfurion ban here, considering that he was banned in pretty much every single game. If he doesn't get banned now, that would be quite the surprise. Now, there's a lot that is still up, though. We know that the Koreans, they highly emphasize Tychus. They're playing a ton with Greymane. Sylvanas is a big deal here. Vala gets played, got played a little bit more, and there's the Malfurion ban. So now when it comes to the support, I would expect that we're going to see early Stukov picks again. Tychus, of course, is the first pick. As I said, he's like incredibly highly prioritized by the Korean teams. We're going to very likely see Greymane. Sylvanas is an option. Vala is definitely an option here as well. And for the support side, I think Stukov will make an appearance rather sooner than later. But it will be interesting to see what the teams can pull off here. And honestly, Kyocha's team was one of the biggest surprises here. And whew, talking about surprises, they are immediately changing it up. And I like it. Kyocha with the Zeratul and the Falstad pick here. So not only do we have more of a focus on globals now, which I've been criticizing a bit throughout the quarterfinals in particular. So I like that a lot. Big map, globals for macro play. But we also have with Zeratul someone that can snipe your backline. And I think that's pretty cool here. The Stukov pick, again, I already talked about it and expected it. So Stukov gets taken very early in the draft. And we get together with that Diablo, who has also had a huge impact at the front line for both of the teams. And, well, we'll see what else they can pull off here. We got Sonya banned. Hogarth doesn't have quite the priority on the Korean side as he does in Europe. Still gets played, though, so it's not like he fell off completely. Could be a choice for them here. Had him multiple times here on this map, too. But me likey. This is a good start. It's a very different approach that we had from most of the matches in the recent past. So given the map, that's definitely kind of neat. My question is more so what's going to be the additional range damage. Are we going to see a Vala here? First, Anduin gets banned. Yeah, if you're using any kind of lockdown composition with Stukov, with Diablo in this sense, but you could also play it, of course, with the Nubarak with Varian. Anduin becomes a very quick counterplay against it. And talking about a Nubarak, here we have him, together with Karazim. So they're already starting to dive pretty hard into the opponent's team, with Zeratul, with Karazim, with the Nubarak. That's an aggressive setup. Has some macro elements to it, but a very aggressive setup that wants to jump on a target and take it down. And a Nubarak for Cocoon is, of course, also a huge utility tool that you have in your team. If you play Gust here, plus a Nubarak with Cocoon, there's a lot of isolation techniques you can use. 7-sided strike coming in. Zul for the wave clear on the other hand, so he's going to mirror that. And there's the Sylvanas pick that we highlighted earlier. So the only one that we haven't seen yet is Vala, and I think it's a bit doubtful that she's gonna be taken here, but we'll see. Zul will have to deal with quite a bit of that push power that Zeratul and Falstad can also bring. I mean, as Zeratul, he can of course just hunt targets down the entire time, but he can also with Cleave focus a bit more on the wave clear, at least initially. Counteract Zul a little bit, and we'll see what they are doing here now. Alderac Pass. Hiccups. And Phoenix! Alright! Didn't see the Phoenix coming. First time that we have him in the tournament. Yeah, and that sets us up. Best of 7, everybody. Let's see which team takes the lead here. Is it going to be the Crying Kittens or the Jellyfish Boys? Team Kyocha against Team Lockdown. Game number 1. The Crying Kittens against the Jellyfish Boys, everybody. Kyocha's team on the left in this best of 7 grand final here. The Korean teams, Kyocha and Zeratul, going straight up into the Shadow Hunter. As his level 1 talent, we got Praise the Sun on Karazim, Samad on Falstad, Panda Gom on Phoenix, and Hebben on Nubarak. On the right side of the map, in the meantime, the Jellyfish Boys, Lockdown's team with Crow on Stukov. We got Frankel on Sylvanas, Lockdown himself on Zul, and Hemali on Diablo, and Relic on Tychus. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna get here. Game number 1, and we have already things set up with Arsenal Synergy as a level 1 talent for Phoenix. In addition to that, we currently got the Legion of Beetles right here. And it will be an interesting one, because the blue team has a lineup that's a little more on the squishy side, but it can of course be incredibly aggressive. going for single targets, and has also some macro elements to it. Now, to be fair, with Frankel's Sylvanas pick here towards the end of the draft, the Jellyfish boys also have quite a bit of potential macro that they can use here if they play the same style that we've seen multiple times throughout the game. Bit of action already happening in the middle of the map. Relic likely going to go into the Master Assassin as a level 4 talent again. We've seen that now multiple times. It's the passive that all of the Tigers players are really out for, not so much the quest itself. 1 minute mark passing, and of course the first step is straight up towards the camp. It's an interesting setup just in general. I mean, we started things off with the quarterfinals, and for the longest time it looked like the Crying Kittens wouldn't even make it into the semis. Honestly, if you rewatch that series, they should have lost. They should have been out already, but they did not only win the quarters, but they made it all the way to the grand final. And now they can, of course, come in and try to take it a whole way. Take this down right here. But yeah, with all of that happening, we got now in level 1 for the Zul Shade. We've seen it a couple of times. Reactive Ballistospores are also in. We're slowly seeing Zeratul work on his Globe quest so that he gets cooldown reduction too. And yeah, it's just pretty much both of the teams taking to the lanes, playing it a bit slow for now. It's another one of these maps where for most of the time you will see the objective ignored, at least in the early game. And here, of course, the lane sustain for Falster with the hammer gains. One of the most important talents if you're trying to lane against any opponent here. And that's exactly what he goes for. And as expected, the Master Assassin is taken too. So looking for that additional attack speed. And, well, with that, we will have him also in Odin being a bit more aggressive and more dangerous. Now, Lockdown, he's going to be rotating between the lanes. It's all about the wave clear for Zulu, at least that's a big part of it. Of course, you can also try and lock targets down a little bit harder, going straight into the Bone Prison here. I'm going to see more of that too. And what we're also going to see is more action against Frankel, and that was nearly a kill, but Sylvanas makes it out, so good for him. Counter attempt at the top where Kyocha is put under pressure, but he's also moving away from it just in time. So both of the teams looking for isolated kill opportunities that they couldn't get so far. Everybody paying attention, staying on their toes, so good for that. But yeah, I kind of like it. It's a little bit of a slower start into this. I also like that we're starting with Alderac Pass. It's honestly not my favorite map to cast. A lot of the games are a little bit slower here, but as an opening map, I think it's pretty good. And I really want to see what kind of maps we're getting. Hopefully the series gives us at least, I want to say 5-6 games. That would be great. And the map pool, we haven't really seen all of it. The map pool has been pretty tight so far in the best of 3 and best of 5 series that we had up to this point. But we saw Garden of Terror, for example, and I think that might make another resurgence here. But I want to see what else they are willing to play. Now, of course, the traditional maps that you see in most of the European games with Infernal Shrines, with Towers of Doom, Tomb of the Spider Queen have also been played. But there's definitely still some wiggle room for surprises. Now we get, once again, on level 7, a secret weapon. Now that the old boomerang is baseline, you can use that to get additional damage, especially against structures and mercenary camps if you are finding yourself on the side lane. On top of that, we got the wormhole, so it's all about the mobility for Zeratul. The later stages of the game is where he's really going to shine. For the time being, just slowing it down a little bit, making sure that he gets that level 1 quest completed slowly but steadily, and everybody is just pushing the lanes out. So there's not really a whole lot of action going on. As mentioned before, the teams were trying to see if they can maybe get a kill somewhere on a map, but nobody is making any huge commitments just yet. Everybody is just completely happy to slowly play this out, with maybe the Jellyfish boys making the first move, but even that is more of a bait than anything else, going for the camp for just a moment. Falset is, of course, a little bit of a thorn in their side already, since he can sit at the bot lane without problems. Pushing Frankel back as well now. And yeah, that's the next one. Coming straight in for the kill, and they get it! Sylvanas down! Of course, Falstad, can he fly? Ah, nice! Neat move by Crow, so it's a kill for a kill. But there's quite a commitment that had to be made here. So yeah, nicely done. Good job for now. Making sure that they just simply moved towards the top and started to take at least a bit of a lead here. Camps have been taken in the meantime too. The red team still has to react to it, so that's a little bit annoying from their perspective at least. Yeah, the 3-man rotation to the bottom to punish Falstad for the Sylvanas kill definitely cost them a bit of time. And that gave up momentum all the way up at the top, but well, here we go. We have already the attack coming in. as they're trying to get a little bit more out of this. The lead in experience also goes to the blue team as they're taking down to the bot lane again in an attempt to pressure Frankel even further. And he has to jump out quickly, losing half of his HP. And Nubarak at the top, on the other hand, he was not able to escape. And that's the kill for the Jellyfish Boys as both of the teams lock in their heroic abilities. With that, we have the might of the Nerazim, of course, on the side of Zeratul. And the only surprise, I want to say, is mind control. Now, if you are more familiar with the European and the North American meta, then this is not really an odd pick for you. But this is the first time that we have mind control on Sylvanas in this tournament. Up to now, despite the fact that she got picked a lot, mind control has not played a role here. It was all about the Wailing Arrow and trying to get the silence connected. We had some beautiful combos with this. So this is the first time that we have that adjustment being made by the Jellyfish Boys. And the Lightning Breath, as so often here. But the first objective goes over to the red team. They're getting immediately attacked on the other hand, and the salvo is connecting nicely, hitting pretty much all of them. Zul is already super low, and they might get the kill here, but the mind controller Nubarak pulls him back in, and that's another kill against the Cockroach. Zeratul is hoping for the counter kill at least, and he gets it. Kyocha immediately jumping out. That's a 4 versus 4 on the map now, and the Raiders, they will still approach. So nicely done by the Jellyfish Boys. Also noteworthy that we have 3 stacks towards the level 4 talent on Tychus, so he has that. And, well, he might be able to complete that. If this is a real brawly game and it turns into that, then maybe he can even complete it. We've seen 1 Master Assassin quest already completed, but as I highlighted multiple times now, it's not why they're taking it. It's all about the passive. If you, of course, can get more, then yeah, you're gonna do it. But the main reason is really those passive 10%. False are dealing with the bot lane. Up at the top, they're trying to go for another kill. Karazim gets attacked. There's the silence, but he can jump out. Even the follow-up of Zul is not yielding the kill. The 7-sided strike preventing that from happening. Bit of damage after the wall was taken down. Similar picture at the bottom and in the middle of the map. The birdie could fly up and help out here. But a good opening for the Jellyfish Boys. Another mind control attempt, and I really like it. Frankel jumping in, trying to make a bit of a sneaky move around mind control. But he couldn't get the damage in that particular move. So at the same time, we have the leader experience still for the Crying Kittens. Kyocha's team is still doing fairly okay. I mean, Falset is pushing the bot lane out, so there's still pressure against the red team. Not a single fort has fallen. There's no big lead for the red team in any way. So despite the fact that they are slightly ahead in kills and also got the first objective, not really too far ahead in the game itself. The early level 13 talent already in. And with that, we now have, well, mending strikes. And we also get the sustained winds over here. But the birdies down at the bottom of the map. So, off we go. Starting to make their play towards the top. Kyocha, he is going to be the one to watch out for sure. Also the bird flying straight into the lurking arm, but is able to make it out. That would have been quite the welcome. Lurking arm, maybe a quick root there. If he gets virulent reaction hit on him, then you're instantly dead. That would have been kind of crazy. Kyocha and Lockdown, they're going up toe-to-toe here at the top lane. That's quite the one-on-one, honestly. That is quite the one-on-one that we're seeing between the two. But the next objective is going to be announced soon. And we have Haben currently at the bottom of the map, eyeing Frankel down again. Sylvanas not wasting any time and is heading back to safety. It's a nice back and forth here. And again, this is the opening for the grand final. Best of 7s can take quite a long time and you're never really safe. But of course, getting that initial lead into the game would be very, very nice for them. Now, over here in the middle, a little bit more attack against Diablo. And even with a bit of barbs here, I mean, they slow him down a little bit, but it's not really forcing anything just yet. We have the siege camps spawning again. And both of the teams are making their play for it. Again, every single time that thing comes off cooldown, you want to be there right away, take it, and just punishing it. So, with all of that, Haben wants to go for the objective again. They're going to try for the channel here, but guess what? Diablo, oh, good dodge. Frame perfect. Frame perfect dodge. And talking about dodging, at the bottom of the map, a little bit of a dodgy play attempt. Oh, yeah, that gust wasn't really needed, but honestly, I can understand why he pulled that out. Haben with the stun. Can't really rely on that. So Sylvanas used mind control. Zul used his ult too. Apparently wanted to go for Kyocha at the top. A lot of a lot of cooldowns get exchanged here. And now they're making the play for Nubarak again, and he is dead. And Nubarak down, need kill, 2 kills to 4. So once again, the slight lead for the Jellyfish boys. And maybe the opportunity to get another objective. With Nubarak dead, they have an opportunity to come in straight for the next objective, take the camp, and maybe get those raiders in action. At least the lead is theirs. So Lockdown is still pushing out the side lane. We're looking at level 16 talents. But you can already tell that it's always the blue team that is slightly ahead in experience. Not by much, but it kind of matters, given that they are the ones that have the glow, but that it doesn't come as a big surprise. They're playing well around it. Falset is doing what he can here. But the pressure on the objective comes from the Jellyfish boys, from Lockdown's team. Now, we have the Master Warblade in for Zeratul, and so far we haven't seen a whole lot of 5 versus 5 fights. Crippling Hammer is in 2. And again, Debilitation. Really not a fan. Really not a fan. It's one of the things that in the Korean meta that I find honestly strange. If you look at Master Warblade, I get the reasoning behind it, even though coming from the European side, obviously it's a different meta that gets played with Tychus over there. But when we talk about Debilitation and compare that to Epicenter, I just think that talent is just straight up garbage. Blizzard has tried to buff it a little bit and make it better, but it's in no way, shape or form comparable to the value that you get out of Epicenter in any kind of snipe comp. So really, really weird for me to see that. This is the second time most of the Nubarak players have gone Epicenter, and I guess in the entire tournament 2 picks into Debilitation is not really that big of a deal, but it's still surprising that that talent gets any attention at all. Not because the talent itself is bad, it's just bad in comparison to what the alternative is. So either way, we have not a single fort taken down yet, and we're already 12.5 minutes into the game. And with level 16, both of the teams still playing around objective number 2. Which highlights again that the objective isn't really the big focus on Alterac Pass. Even the bosses haven't been attacked. So they're just slowly playing around all of this, looking for kills that they could possibly get, and then use the numbers advantage to take the raiders, take a boss, or play around that. So we'll see. With the push down towards Falstad, the bird has to be careful. And I like how the team seems to be always calling out what's going on with the rotational play on the other side. So not getting surprised at all. We got another quick hit against Zeratul potentially, but he makes his way out. Grenades are being thrown out here too. The damage output so far, 25,000 for Tychus, 25,000 also for Phoenix, who was able to connect the 4 or 5 man salvo earlier. So that's boosting his damage, of course, quite a bit. Zul, Phoenix, both with a lot of siege damage here, and still attacking the top side. But it's, yeah, Zul is already there. So Zeratul is doing his thing against Lockdown as much as he can. We have the camps taken again, the birdies checking the bottom boss. Every single time you're losing vision, you want to make sure that your opponent is not trying to sneak in the boss on the map. But since there is quite a bit of money on the line, both teams are playing this fairly safe and slow here. So it's a slow opening into the grand final. But of course, as with any game, it can quickly change. And I suppose that once we have level 20 abilities, we're going to see a lot more action here. But this is... yeah, that is already the attack. And Nubarak gets cleansed by Karazim. That's of course the big one right now. Karazim after level 16 has finally the cleansing touch. And that is a huge tool for the blue team. It's a big power spike. And it's definitely going to keep them a lot safer. So really, really nice for them. Down here, the attack is still happening. Alright, they're going to try to make the play for Diablo. And with a 7-sided strike, they got a lot of damage in. It's just not enough. The attempt between Sylvanas and Stukov to shut them down, also unsuccessful. Kyocha and Lockdown still in their one-on-one setup here. But it's the red team that is starting to get a bit impatient and is trying to make some plays. Now there's of course also stacking involved to an extent. Falstad has his level 1. We kind of need to pay attention to a little bit at least. So that's something where you don't want to end up too late in the game. But talking about being a bit impatient, seems like the blue team also is finally making a more aggressive move. And they're coming straight in here. Phoenix is making his way out, but by now they should anticipate that something's going on. Where exactly is the blue team? They haven't seen them in a while, but even if they check now, it's already too late. So the boss goes over to the Crying Kittens for absolutely free. They get that easy peasy. We got the Shadow Stride in, Transgression is there too, and they have the early level 20 talent, but more importantly, they got the boss here. The attempt to jump in, Gust gets used, Mind Control, but all of the ults for naught. No consequences out of all the cooldowns that just have been used, but instead it's going to be the first fort of the game that falls here. And Zeratul is pushing out the top lane even further. So by now we got 40 stacks for Falstad. Level 20 abilities, give the big red button over to the Jellyfish boys. We got the Bolt of the Storm. And yep, now it's time to party, I suppose. One fort is already down at the bottom of the map, and Kyocha is doing his best to drop another one at the top side, trying to take this as well. And this time there's nobody that rotates up. Zul finally makes a move, but honestly, this is too late. If you can get the kill against Zeratul, that would be kind of neat. But given that Might of the Narazim is still up, I doubt it. And Zul agrees and just rotates back into the mid lane, realizing that he is too late to have an impact there. So now the objectives are still firmly guarded, but the map is shifting a little bit. The Crying Kittens are doing better and better. First two forts are down, so a bit of map control is established, which is also nice for Falstad, of course, as the side lane pusher. Something to keep in mind here, that they can still play around him. Relic is going for the first camp. This one over here has still another 40 seconds before that spawns. But they are dancing around the prisoner camp now, trying to see what they can set up here. And, well, let's go. Tychus gets killed by Zeratul. Falstad flies in to help out as well. And yeah, pretty neat move here by Kyocha. And Falstad was ready to commit to it. And now, of course, they have the numbers advantage and can go straight up for the fort. For the prisoner camp. Fort in the middle, plus the prisoner camp. They can push both now. And that's 3 kills to 4. So the global plays really work for them. And they will get the objective here. That's an easy one, an easy lock. Kyocha can now apply even more pressure during the next push. And we are 17 minutes into the game. 17 minutes and 20 seconds. So that's the opportunity to get more momentum and really bring that pain train into gear to make a play. So, off we go. Mid lane is already heavily under pressure. And that's before the objective is here. That's before we are seeing any of those, of the cavalry. So, if they can take that down, then the next stop is, of course, keeps. And this is starting to become more and more difficult for the Jellyfish boys. It's an intense amount of pressure that they're experiencing here. And, well, Tychus is just now about to come back. And we already have the Raiders appearing in the middle of the map. Now, we're only 17, 18 minutes in, so it's not a bit like we're super late in the game yet. Yeah, gets a bit of damage in. Already looking at the bot lane. Keep in mind also that once that the cavalry is gone, we're going to have the attack into the top potentially for the next boss. Lockdown gets attacked! Ah, and they can't make it. The Hellgate gets used. Also, the push against Sylvanas. I don't know if the wind tunnel was really needed here. I guess the initial idea was to take Sylvanas out and push her away if she connects the mind control, which didn't happen. Zul has to deal with the top lane now, where at least the towers are falling, but the keep itself shouldn't really suffer too much damage. And they're pushing the middle of the map now as well. So here we go. All 3 forts are down. The structural advantage for the Crying Kittens is pretty significant. Catapult pressure on every single lane. And as we're now heading into the later stages of the game and closing in on the 20th minute mark, this is going to become more problematic. Now all the way up at the top, there's still a boss up. The one at the bottom of the map still going to take a couple of minutes, or 1.5 roughly. But topside, are they making the play here? Vision is everything. You really are just trying to scout this out, and this is also where Falstad starts excelling even further. Because the birdie can now simply push the lane out and then fly in, and the red team is realizing that if they are playing this slow, they're going to lose it eventually. So what they're just doing is they're forcing the issue. They're going to the top and they're saying, okay guys, we need to do something here. There's the big red button. The mind control, beautiful hit against Kyocha, but he still makes it out thanks to the mighty gust interrupting it. And now the control straight up in the choke point as they're attempting to take down not only Stukov but also Sylvanas, all of them low. And the boss kills Stukov. The boss kills Stukov. Here comes the play. Zeratul down, Zul down, Diablo dead. They go for Sylvanas, try to get the kill here. Phoenix eliminated and everybody dead and dying. An absolute slaughter that we're seeing here. Huge plays with 3 heroes still alive. A full 5-man wipe against the Jellyfish boys. And they go for boss right now. But check this one out. Kill after kill after kill. Yeah, they take everyone down here. Sylvanas, Phoenix, all falling. Tyke is dying. And now the boss at the top is taken. The mid lane gets already pressured by the camp that they took a bit earlier. And oh boy, did that escalate quickly here. It's the red team that forced the issue. They said, guys, we need to do something. We're falling farther and farther behind. Our opponent took 3 forts down already. If we don't at some point make a move here, we're going to lose it eventually. And we're going to die a slow and painful death. So let's try and force it. And it just didn't really work out the way that they were hoping for. So now the top lane is under severe pressure. Basically, they can kiss the keep goodbye. And there's going to be even more of an attack coming now that the objective is about to be taken too. So real tricky situation. Camp is stolen and Falstad cannot move back. They go for the objective. They're trying to prevent it from happening. They know that they're going to lose the keep. And Falstad is already starting to fly down to the bottom of the map so that the team can focus on the next boss here. Nice macro play by the Kittens. They're heavily playing around the Jellyfish boys now. Vala's going to leave the boss alone. They have to abandon this for now. Mid lane is getting pressure too. A bit of a slowdown attempt by the Crying Kittens as they're attempting to buy time for Falstad and for Zeratul. We'll have to gust. But do they let it slide? I'm pretty sure that they're going to keep the aggro here and trying to take it. It's one of those few moments where the Jellyfish boys could try and make a play. The birdie could maybe even fly towards the top, go for the core. I don't really think that they will. Boss gets leashed. Nobody making the play there. And in the meantime, the boss is eventually going to fall. With all 2 armor shields still intact, it's not going to be a problem, at least for now. And Kyocha can push this out even further. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. It's not really as kill heavy as a lot of other games, but there's of course a lot of tactical decisions that are being made here. And it's focusing more heavily now that we're 22 minutes in on them attempting to get the objective. Falstad has 32,000 damage, and I gotta say, Falstad, he is really willing to drop that ult every time. And he's even a bit in trouble. Maybe a little bit surprising that Relic and his team did not commit to the boss after he popped Odin and the big red button. I really assumed that they would try to go for the boss and just throw the Hail Mary there. Now they're in a similar position again because 2 of their heroes are going for the boss once more. And I guess Diablo is going to figure that out, but they're always attempting the pressure plays. And this time they're going for it, aren't they? Diablo keeps the aggro up, they're trying to make the move. And the blue team lets it happen. The blue team says, screw it, you get the boss, we get the objective. That's totally fine for us, that's all that we need right now. So they're going for the prisoner camp and just look at the mid lane. They have technically also an opportunity to take the camp and maybe even drop, maybe not the keep, but they could drop a couple of the hit points. But here comes the attack again. Nice, boss taken, and they arrive in time to take their own camp. Good job by the Jellyfish boys. They don't give up. They're not giving up on this game yet. The bottom of the map, there's the attack happening, so that boss has to be dealt with too, and Falstad is flying in, as we're saying. But, well, let's go. That's that. Here's the opportunity to burn this down quickly, but now they gotta also do something with that objective. They want this thing to be successful. I mean, you take that shit for a reason, right? So the boss is down, and now the question is, what are they going to do with it? Mid lane already gets defeated, so the only cavalry that really matters is the one at the bottom of the map. And they're going to shield that for as long as they can. And, well, let's see. They need to get some damage done. The one at the top is not going to do enough. It's going to damage the core, but of course the core regenerates automatically on this map. So there's not really a big play that you can make there. Middle of the map, yep, that's going to cost them a fort. So it's not really that bad for the Jellyfish boys. They are under pressure, but they're getting more and more value out of all of this. Nice attempt again to go for that combo between a Lurking Arm and Mind Control. But it didn't connect. They tried it a few times, and it's one of those dangerous things. It doesn't connect for a few times, and then once that it does, you're losing a hero. But there they have to defend. Cavalry gets taken down. They have still both of the keeps, and they took 2 forts down. That's not too bad. So they didn't lose a keep, but they annihilated 2 forts on the other side, and therefore the catapult pressure has been reduced a bit. Top lane is of course still a problem, don't get me wrong. But still, that's still a game where they could turn it. 52,000 damage for Tychus. We're already 25 minutes into the game now. Phoenix is sitting at 44,000. And the bosses are both taken. Bosses are both taken. Granted, the one at the top is going to be back soon, TM. Talking about being back. They're back in action against Zul as they're trying to make a play. But again, the disengage. They don't want to fight this out too long. Retreat quickly. No big problem. And now the birdie down at the bottom of the map still looking tight. Game number 1 in the best of 7, and nobody wants to give up here. Nobody. Falstad at 38,000 damage. Stacks at 58. Mind Control misses again. Sylvanas jumping back out. Frankel, they're always trying to get the damage out now. Every single time they attempt to go for another quick kill. But they just cannot get the connect. They are pushing the mid lane now a bit. They're getting more and more aggressive. The Jellyfish boys, they have quite a bit of momentum going for themselves now. The last few fights have been going a bit better for them. Quest is completed for Diablo once more, so he has his extra life. And that's a complete wall destroyed. With the help of Sylvanas, they're pushing. Now, the birdie is at the bottom of the map and is still pushing this out. So that's, of course, the other side of the coin. He's trying to take the bottom keep down. But the red team is very aggressive in the middle of the map and likely gonna get this. So it seems like they're trading keeps here. Bottom of the map, Falstad is going for it with secret weapon. That's solid extra damage that he gets against structures. And I think both of the teams are gonna walk away with a keep here. Bottom keep goes down, mid keep goes down. The fight on the other hand focuses on the Phoenix, and he is dead. Phoenix is down, and Nubarak is down. They try to go for Kyocha. They try to go for Praise the Sun. They get the kill against Karazim, and here comes Odin as the Jellyfish boys just go for core. 2 armor shields are still intact. The Mighty Gust buys a little bit of time. Zeratul and Falstad are the only 2 survivors here. Can they somehow pull it off? That's the big question, and currently doesn't look like it. Frankel with the mind control. This one connects. Falstad nearly dead. They have to fall back. The core is down to 6,000 HP. And even Kyocha can't take them down. That's the win. The Jellyfish boys turn the game and take the lead in the best of 7 series. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Okay, game number 2. Volskaya Foundry is our second map, and I gotta admit that the Jellyfish boys did pretty well there towards the end. The entire game they were under pressure, and it was always, I mean, honestly, it was a pretty slow start into all of this, right? Makes sense as the first map of a best of 7, so we had the slow approach at the beginning, but you could tell that the blue team got farther and farther ahead by taking structures down, and then the Jellyfish boys just decided they needed to go for some aggressive plays around the boss that backfired heavily. But they clawed their way slowly back into it and then turned it towards the end. So nicely done and real good commitment in the mid lane here. And that leads us into our Volskaya Foundry match. And this time we have Vala as the first pick. So it's not an early Tigers pick. I still think we're going to see him here, given the high priority that he has in the Korean meta. But Vala gets taken, first of all, for Kyocha's team. And this should be interesting. Also, by the way, the prize pool got increased by crowdfunding. And now we're looking at, I think in total, it's a prize pool of roughly $5,000. The first place gets around $3,000, a little bit more than that. And the second place is at $1,400, $1,500. Obviously, all of this is in Korean won, so we're just like transferring that over and like, yeah, currency exchange and everything. But you get the idea. So there's quite a little bit of money on the line for the 2 teams here. 3rd and 4th place also get some prize money, but we are looking at the grand final. And since this was a single elimination bracket, yeah, there was a lot on the line there for every single match that you played. Now, we got Stukov in, and we also have Garrosh, so already going for a bit of a combo attempt as they're starting all of this up. We have Ana and Tychus. That nano-boosted Odin is one of the things that they do a lot. We've seen that quite a bit. Diva gets banned on the 3rd. And with Volskaya Foundry, I mean, again, from the European perspective, it's kind of funny because there are some similarities in the terms that the meta plays out, but there's so many heroes that you see on Europe over and over and over again that just don't play a role here. Uther is an example that I brought up in the recent games, normally a pick or a ban on the European scene. Rexa is a hero that we have not seen a single time in this tournament, whereas in Europe you don't see a single series where Rexa doesn't get played at some point. Quite often he's played in nearly every single map or is banned out at some point. So yeah, but as it stands, this is a bit different. The high focus on Tychus that we are seeing here, the consistent bans on Malfurion, every single time eliminating him. In this case, we have also Junkrat and Li Ming both banned out, since the outside poke on the checkpoint with the 2 of them is quite powerful. But, well, what are we going to get for Lockdown's team now? What is the side lane going to be? Blaze! First Blaze that we're seeing, I think. This is another example of a hero that we don't see as often as in Europe, but Blaze gets taken, and we have Diablo once again, Imperius and Kerrigan to round things up. And I gotta admit that Kerrigan was played by Kyocha's team was insane in the semifinals. So now we got Frankel also on Jaina. And that sets us up for game number 2 in the best of 7. Volskaya Foundry, everybody. So let's jump into game number 2, find out if the red team can extend their lead. But with that Kerrigan combo and Imperius, this is going to be a bit tricky. This is a really scary setup that Kyocha's team has. So let's see if they can set it up to win. Imperius gets played by Kyocha in game number 2. The Crying Kittens on the left side. We got Haben on Garrosh. Praise the Sun is playing Stukov. Samad on Kerrigan. I really like the way, I mean, his synergy is nice. You're going to see it in just a second. He usually plays the gold tint and then adjusts his mount as well. The last time it was the golden Nexus mount, so it was pretty cool. We got Vala also played by Pandagom here, going of course into the multi-shot build with the fire at will right here. On the right side of the map, the red team, the Jellyfish Boys with Crow on Ana, Lockdown on Blaze, going straight up into the new habits here for the Unstoppable frames. Hebali on Diablo, Frankel on Jaina, and Relic is playing Tychus. And yeah, there it is. Look at it. The golden Kerrigan, all pimped up and good to go. It's party time. There's a lot of stuns that they have. I mean, it's an insanely scary setup. Just look for a second of what they have here. They have Stukov for the lurking arm. They got the stun on Imperius, Garrosh, of course, with disengage, and then Kerrigan on the back of it. And that is just crazy. And on the other side, it's Ana. Ana to keep all of them alive. And, well, we'll see if that happens. But there's the aggression already. The blue team, they want their kills, and they're getting their kills, aren't they? No way. No way! And what? There it is! The kill against Diablo. And even kicking the ragdoll out. Oh, God. Alright, alright. So, the early kill in the game. I think the Crying Kittens have such an amazing lineup if you want to play an aggressive map that it's going to be very, very difficult for the Jellyfish Boys to come back into this if they lose momentum. Now that's of course a big if, right? It comes down to the way that they can engage, if they can get these kills early on and then really carry that momentum into the late game, or whether the Jellyfish Boys are able to just sustain through all of it. They have some slows, they got some stuns, you already have the, the oil spill. And over here, every Greenpeace fan is crying a silent tear every single time that Lockdown does it. So not only do they spill the oil, they also set it afire. What would the economy think? I mean, honestly, it's kind of tough. I mean, well, there's that. Lockdown already going up against Kyocha over here. Our 1 versus 1 is still being set. We have Samad on the left side. They're all going for the camps now. We have, of course, the turrets already taken after the 1 minute mark. The traditional mass assassin on Korean server gets locked in. And at the same time, the multi-shot build continues as you would expect. The stacks for Vala is something that we are going to keep an eye on. Of course, we'll have the Kittens with an attempt to go for more fights. And that's also making it easier for Vala to stack. But there's another setup against Diablo. And, well, he is dead again. So, good job. This is exactly the problem here. We have the healing beacon in the hands of Garrosh. Item advantage for the Kittens. They have a level advantage already, and they are going ham at this point. I mean, really ham. This is a fantastic start for them. Look at this, they're even invading. They're taking Ana down too. They're invading at the camp over here. They stole the camp, they get the kill on Ana, and now they're going straight into the middle as they're pressuring Lockdown too. That's 3 kills to 0 already, just as the game started. Some stacks for Vala before we even have the first big fight over the objective. And the Jellyfish Boys, they are experiencing a huge amount of pain here. So the Crying Kittens are angry. They're QQing a little bit about game number 1, but apparently they're mad enough to turn this around quickly. The level 7 talent that they have in their hands give them even more of a lead now on objective number 1, so nicely done. Good job. All the way up at the top, the counter kill attempt, and Kerrigan. This time she's down. Alright, so they get at least the counter kill. They're not rolling over and just giving up on this game. They get the kill. And they need level 7 before they can make a serious approach towards the mid lane in an attempt to take down or take over the checkpoint. And there we have it. So already the Ice Lands after the Frost Shards initially. A little bit more of a poke here in that big battle. Also a stack for the Master Assassin. And yeah, we're good to party. We'll see a bit more of a fight here from the Jellyfish Boys. They need to grow a spine in this game. And need to come through that. Bottom of the map, there's already Kyocha against Lockdown. And of course with all the wave clear that Frankel brings to the table, he's bursting the top wave out pretty quickly. And it's time for even more turrets. So, Terra time. Yeah, no level 10s in sight for any of the teams. Still first objective, of course, 70% against 40. It's time to party. Everybody is gathering up in the middle of the map, and it's time to see what they got. Level 8 versus level 8, so all of the early game fighting set aside for just a moment. There comes the next flip against Diablo. Already the follow-up. Nicely done. Dibble's in trouble. The healing beacon on the ground, but both of the frontliners fall, and now they get the follow-up kill against Kerrigan. But also Blaze is dead. Great kills here on both sides. 2 kills against 2, and it is spicy. But the blue team takes over, at least for now. Yeah, check this one out. I mean, they went ham on it. So Diablo is the first one to fall. He got completely locked down, but he still was able to also threaten Garrosh, and it led to a kill on the blue team's front line. And then both of the side laners die. The Protector still ending up in the hands of the Kittens, and they are also super close to getting a level 10 now. So that's another big one here. If they get level 10 together with a Protector, they should be able to do some significant damage. Vala, of course, has been stacking throughout all of this. She's currently sitting at 16 stacks at the 5-minute mark. Good for her. Same is also true, of course, for Jaina. She's at 18 on the level 1, but her baseline is even more important. Bigger pressure play through the mid lane, but after the wall is down, it's the traditional rotation towards the top side in an attempt to take the fountain down so that you can prepare for the next objective here. So yeah, so far so good. We got 5 kills to 3, slight advantage for the blue team, but we've seen that before in game number 1, and we all know how that ended. Now that the quest is completed, they're trying to make the play again for another potential kill. The fountain is down, that was huge, and here comes Haben, throws them out. The nano boosted Jaina, not able to lock them down enough, even with the water elemental, so couldn't do that. And yep, here we have it. They're starting to do their thing on the next objective, going for the beacon. Oh, the timing on that bunker. Frankel is able to make it into the bunker for just a second, and they make it out of the fight. Wow. These Odin timings, on the other hand, yeah, the sleep dart was kind of crazy, and they get the kill against Kyocha. Relic with the Odin towards the end of the fight to lock in the kill against Imperius, and they're securing also the item. Of course, Odin will be ready for the next objective too. He has plenty of time to move into the middle of the map and use it against the minion wave. So, yeah, they secure themselves not only the kill against Imperius, but they also get the healing beacon and can push out the mid lane a bit. Yeah, and that brings them back to business. It's 5 kills to 5. The aggressive opening that we saw in the game for the blue team already more or less negated. So, good on the Jellyfish boys. We got 16,000 damage for Tychus. Vala is also sitting at 16k. She's currently at roughly 88 extra damage on the multi-shot, thanks to stacking. And Frankel at the top, already hearthing back after taking the camp. Bit of a lead in experience now for the red team. So they're waiting for the level 13 talent here. That's normally also when we see the top lane spawn. And what are we getting? 5. By the way, 5 stacks for the Master Assassin. Now, if the game is as brawly throughout all of it, then there is even a chance that he completes it. But I have my eyes on Kerrigan still. Kerrigan is the one that wants to go for the engage here. And they are now pushing through the bot lane in an attempt to take the wall out, I suppose. That would prep them also for objective number 3. The level 13 talents are ready for both teams now. And that gives us the Chrysalis and also Gloom. So more survivability for the blue team. Whereas in the middle of the map, Haben, fairly safe. Just stays on the mount, doesn't really do anything else. Just plays it slow, plays it safe. But there's another approach in that choke point. And that might be a bit of a problem. Already the taunt. Haben low. Frankel in trouble. The nano boost and the kill. Stukov dead. And so is Jaina. Granny gets charged by Kerrigan. But this is going to be a problem for the Queen of Blades. Easy triple stun by Kyocha, but it comes in way too late, and it might end up with him falling too. Again, the late Odin here, as they're trying to go for the kill, and they're isolating it, and I guess they're going to get the drop on Kyocha. Relic with a late Odin drop, and it is again enough to take the kill against Imperius. That's 3 kills to 1. Great trade for the Jellyfish boys. And I gotta admit that they are murdering it right now. Even with Jaina dying, she's still sitting at 13,000 damage towards her baseline quest. So soon we're gonna have an ice block on their hand. They're 2 kills ahead now, and they've taken an entire lead in experience. That's also 8 stacks towards the Master Assassin now. I am impressed. The early game, the 3 kills to 0 that initially were picked up by the Crying Kittens were fantastic. But at this point, the Crying Kittens have a lot more reason to go QQQ on this one, because this is not looking good. No, they need to put another dent into the defense of the Jellyfish Boys, and it's been a struggle after the level 10 abilities hit. 33 stacks now. That's what we have for Vala. By the way, the only hero on the red team side that hasn't died yet. Vala kept herself safe every single time. For the Jellyfish Boys, it's Tychus. Relic hasn't fallen once yet. 28,000 damage, so Vala is still slightly ahead. And of course, the stacking into the late game is still going to help her scale. But at this point in time, things are a bit tricky. Objective is up, 69 stacks against 20%. Of course, the objective on the map is right now the support camp, that both of the teams are just moving around. And here we go. What can they do right now? Half a level until 16, and that's the bigger problem. After the level 16 hits, we're definitely going to see the approach of the red team towards the objective again. At this point, it's just guarding the support camp, making sure that there's no move from the Kittens. But with another wave pushing into the top lane, they can now take this down. There's the level 16 talent, and that gives them the talent advantage. That's the power spike right there. So, first of all, we got the debilitating flames. The northern exposure is also in. And everybody's slowly starting towards the objective, as expected. There's no fountain anymore here that can be tapped. They don't have level 16, so the red team is in full control of the top lane. And the blue team, the Kittens, they're just deciding to go 4 items, taking another turret here, and cutting the losses, at least for the time being. So, we'll see. Either way, all the way up at the top. There's the Protector. Vala by now has Manticore. Time to take down the fort here, I suppose. And Kerrigan is sitting at the side. Gets sniffed out, though. Okay. And there we have it. Alright, so let's go. I mean, Lockdown, honestly, oil spill everywhere. He's just controlling the fights as best as he can. The guy spills more oil than the X in Valdez. But here we have the push into the mid lane now in an attempt to top another fort. Even the water medal has been committed to. But Haben made it out. Has, of course, still his Indomitable on level 4. That's going to help him with survivability. And Kerrigan is jumping on the Protector. It's maybe... you are biting off more than you can chew, I suppose. But they haven't taken a fort down yet. They dropped the one in the mid lane a lot, but down at the bottom of the map, the Protector is getting burned to pieces within seconds. So that's an easy one right here. Samat gets attacked, and now can they get the follow-up? That could be the first death of Tychus. He's in trouble, gets taunted, the Warlord's challenge, and he makes it out, just walks away. Jaina with the ice block. I don't think that Frankel is going to survive it, and indeed he falls. But still, that's kind of nuts. Middle of the map also, Kyocha against Lockdown, another stun out as they're going for the play here. And Kerrigan with the Chrysalis. But Samat makes it out of the fight. More or less unharmed. At least not dead. 42 stacks for Vala. Keep an eye on that. If the game lasts for a long time, that might be the ticket back into it. So that's something they can definitely do here. Only Jaina fell in that last encounter, but they still can't capitalize on it with an item. Instead, we have the attack against Lockdown again. The bunker is up. The wall's done on the other hand as Diablo comes in and puts pressure on Kerrigan once more. So it's difficult for the Kittens to capitalize on these kills that they're getting. It's only small kills, isolated ones that they have gotten so far, not multiple ones at the time that immediately give them map control. So they couldn't take the item, they couldn't push anything really. Bot lane is what they're aiming for the most now, but Jaina is back to business and the entire red team is slowly rotating bot side as the Jellyfish Boys still have the lead in experience. Still a little bit ahead. Yeah. Everybody going straight up into the middle again. 41,000 damage by now for Tychus. And of course the top lane is also something to really consider. There it is. Objective. Well, the next mini objective is up again. As we have the healing camp come through. And they're trying to go for it again. Item control is everything on this map. And they seem to let that slide. The rotation is there. Is it too late? I think they might just arrive in time to deal with it. No, not quite. Nope. This one gets taken. Not a single fort destroyed, by the way. We're already 14 minutes into the game, nearly in level 20, and not a single fort has fallen. Reminds me a little bit of game number 1. Just a little bit. So, for now, it's the bot lane that, again, is going to be important since the next objective spawns right here. Imperius is dealing with the top side for now. And level 20 talents are going to be so much faster for the red team. And just look what they're doing. They're going straight for the fountain. You can already see it pinged. It's the whole idea here. Take the fountain down as quickly as you can so that your opponent does not have sustain on the bot lane whenever the fight over the third objective breaks out, which is going to be in just a few seconds. So it's a nice opening again for the red team. Really well done. Dropping that fountain is absolutely crucial. It's one of the most important things on this map. Always try to take the sustain away on the lanes from your opponent so that you have an easier time on the objective itself. And they, of course, have the early level 20. There it is. That's the advantage. The winter mute is in. The big red button gets taken. The increased nano boost here. The fortified bunkers are pretty much just upgrades on the ult that we're seeing. And that includes Diablo, who now has the Hellstorm. Big duration for him. And they are taking over. And this is a bit of a dicey moment now for the Crying Kittens, because despite the fact that they were able to get a few more kills in earlier, now they first of all have to soak level 20, therefore they are at the top in the mid lane, and that means they are abandoning the bottom. Immediately the reaction from the red team as they take the fort down. Now of course there is counter pressure in the middle, but that still helps a lot. And now that the Kittens have their level 20, they have to make a decision. Do they want to fight without the bottom keep, or the bottom fort? Or how are they going to play this one out? We got the Farflight Quiver again. Insane range if you can keep your Hatred stacks up. The Titanic Might. And the item advantage is also in the hands of the Jellyfish Boys. So there's a lot of downsides for the Kittens to fight here, but you don't want to give that objective up for free, of course. At some point you have to face the music. But with another turret now locked in, that's a huge amount of small advantages for the Jellyfish Boys. And that adds up. They make the engage on Kyocha. There's the old commitment from Tychus. And they're immediately starting to pressure. Garrosh, good stun. And bam, he's dead. He just disappeared. Pulled the Houdini. Disappeared from the map. Now they're going for the next one. And there it is. The kill against Karrigan. Yes, Jaina died too, but it's still a 4 versus 3 situation. And they're chasing Vala. She gets dropped. And it's just a cleanup job. Kyocha gets attacked too. They're making a play down here for Stukov. And Praise the Sun is not going to make it. Yeah, Odin slides in. That's 4 heroes down. And of course, they can go straight up for the keep. Can go for the objective. They have so many options. The momentum swing in the hands of the Jellyfish Boys is incredible. 12 kills against 8. And therefore, of course, also 12 stacks for the Master Assassin on Tychus. He might be able to complete that thing after all. Not that it matters at this point. At this point, it just seems like it's going to be a beatdown no matter what. 12 kills to 8. The aggressive lineup of the Crying Kittens, I said it at the beginning of the game, they want the momentum, they want to have it, and they want to continue to control the game, and it just didn't happen. Instead, they're now losing Kyocha, and this seems like they are already more or less giving up on this one. It's a disaster. The bottom keep is about to be lost. Here comes the Protector. With Kyocha down and only 2 heroes on the map, this is just too rough. Now, Jaina isn't here. That's kind of important. She's just now making her way over towards the other side of the map. We're 17 minutes in. Bunker is already out, and they're burning down the shield within seconds. What a setup for the Jellyfish Boys. The best of 7 grand final. The Kittens with such an aggressive setup that worked wonders in the semifinals for them. But the red team just shut it down, and they win game number 2. Easy peasy as they extend their lead. A 2-0 advantage in the best of 7 grand final. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. Okay, the Jellyfish Boys with the 2-0 lead in the best of 7, everybody. Great start for them, and I am impressed because the lineup that was played by the blue team, super aggressive around their stun combinations, tons of CC with Stukov, with Imperius, Karrigan, Garrosh, they played it really well. But then again, on the other side, you have the Jellyfish Boys that just did a fantastic job keeping everybody alive during these fights and then turning it quickly. Very patient approaches to the team fights too, and they just wrecked them. Especially that last final battle that we had at the bottom of the map. An early drop on the big red button, and then of course they pop Garrosh like a pimple. And once that he's down, it's just a cleanup job pretty much. But now that we're heading into game number 3, this is really going to be important. This is the best of 7, so being 2-0 behind is not really... It's not the end of the game, right? It's just one of those things where it's like, alright guys, we don't want to be here, but as long as we're taking this map now, we're going to be Gucci. We're going to be fine. We can claw our way back into this. If, then again, you are falling behind with 3-0, or 0-3, then, whew, Reverse sweep in a best of 7, that's difficult enough in a best of 5. In a best of 7, you're gonna have a problem. So right now we got Chromie banned out, Malfurion did once again not make it into the draft, Greymane also banned, and of course the first pick, again, Tychus. They're high priority on Tychus immediately. We got Li Ming and Ana. Nano boosted Ana, Battlefield of Eternity, that's where she makes a bit of a reappearance. I would also like to see a Vala with an arrow build at some point on Battlefield. I've been talking about this, I think, in the quarterfinal, where it became quickly apparent that for some reason the Chinese teams, they don't really, sorry, the Korean teams, they don't really like Vala too much on Battlefield of Eternity in general. But even when they pick her, they go into a multi-shot build. That's at least the one game where we saw her here, and not an arrow build, which was kind of interesting. We got Anduin in, we got Diablo together with him. Yeah, immediately in my head, you know, it's like, Medivh? But yeah, they played this once or twice with a ley line into Diablo Apocalypse. Not so much here. Genji gets banned, okay. And there is the ban on Mei. Alright. I mean, this is a brawly map, so we're gonna see a lot of team fighting happening here. And with Tychus already taken, with Diablo being taken, you have some of the really hallmark heroes for the Korean meta right from the get-go in the hands of the crying kittens. And by the way, I explained this already in the previous games where the kittens were playing, but obviously the team name isn't the Crying Kittens. They are called TWT, which is apparently a crying emoji in Korea, and their logo shows a kitten. So, I mean, again, that nickname wrote itself. Malthael now from lockdown, and we get an ETC! Look at that, Breeze would be proud. Also, Kyocha on Urel, the Space Goat is in. He's channeling his inner Wooby. And we got Sylvanas. Again, a good lineup for them. Diablo Urel at the front line, Anduin in the back. You have Tychus, you have Sylvanas. You can get the Immortal, you can push with it. Make sure that Sylvanas helps you out on this a bit. Obviously, with Malthael being potentially nano boosted, with Li Ming potentially nano boosted, there's a lot of momentum that we can have for the Jellyfish boys if they make it there. But that's our last pick now, and it's Jimmy! This is one of the first times that I've seen Jimmy in this tournament. The Europeans, they're all about him. Jimmy is always there. And now we have finally also Jimmy played in the Korean tournament. Got a little tear. He's a bit of a StarCraft fanboy. Jimmy going up against Tychus. It's the old battle. So let's head straight into game number 3 of the Best of 7 series here at the Fish Cup. Let's go! Third map, and the chance, of course, to take the big lead in this series for the Jellyfish boys as they're trying to win the tournament here. On the left side of the map, we got Kyocha playing Urel, we got Samad on Sylvanas, Praise the Sun on Anduin, Haben on Diablo, and Pandagom on Tychus. Towards the right side of the map, in the meantime, the Jellyfish boys with Frankel on Li Ming, Crow on Ana, Hebali on ETC, and Relic plays Reyna with Lockdown, last but not least, straight up on Malthael. We got the Exterminator in as the level 1 talent, as you would expect on this map. And yes, they are looking at a potential kill at the top. Kyocha so far is not risking anything here though. Well, not much. Then again, he's checking both of those. But now they will have to rotate down and help all of this out. So now again, guys, before we're actually heading into this, also a quick side note here. First and foremost, a big shout out to all of the people that are supporting the channel. So all the patrons, thanks a lot for the support and for you guys to help keeping the channel and everything alive here. If you guys want to support the coverage here, want to get more coverage of Korean tournaments whenever they're dropping and other things, and you can always head over to patreon.com/Khaldor and of course check that out. So thanks, and again, big shout out to all of the Patreon supporters on the page. Appreciate you guys, thank you. We're now down here at the bottom of the map. We got our 4 versus 4 set up. The 1 versus 1 is established. The initial idea of maybe getting a quick kill in did so far not work out. We got the Prog Rock on level 1. Obviously a map where you normally get a few less globes. That can be annoying, but he's still going for the quest talent here. And yeah, we got the Exterminator, of course, in. No lone talents for Jimmy just now. But Jimmy is another good example of where the meta between Europe and Korea definitely differs. Europe still plays him quite a bit. Now, the recent patch has obviously just dropped, so we will maybe see a few more adjustments as time continues. But at least for now, when you're looking at the bigger events within Europe, you can see that Jimmy sees a lot of play still. The lone talent gets played, and then of course when you're playing on Battlefield of Eternity, you still have the option to go into Exterminator and apply more pressure to the Immortal itself. Outside of that, not really too many differences here. 5-man already at the bottom of the map. Crying Kittens are rotating back down with Urel. And then I want to say, oh, wait, that could be a kill. Frankel, yeah, he's in trouble. He's down. That's a kill right here. Nicely done. Li Ming is dead. But what I was about to say is that we are in this game. I mean, one of the things on the rotational play from the Korean teams that we don't see as much from the Western teams anymore is this rotation of the 5th man down to the bottom of the map to join the fight. That doesn't really happen anymore in Europe. In Europe, in North America. Normally what you see happening instead is that the team that decides that they're not going to engage into the 4 versus 4 fight, or the fight at the bottom, what they do is, instead of rotating the top laner down, they're rotating a hero towards the top, and then they take a camp for a camp. That's the more traditional setup. So these 5 versus 5 battles, as we just saw at the bot lane, or at any camp, is something that doesn't really happen so much anymore. So it's not only the heroes that are slightly different and the priorities on them, but also some of the tactical plays that are being made in the games that have shifted from region to region. So meta definitely being different here. With the level 4 talents now kicking in, and now traditional piercing light is ready. We got the bigger they are on the front line. The US Space Goat is here. Freedom! Definitely know where Urel is coming from. And a halftime show a victory for the Jellyfish Boys. So they're looking good on the objective, but they of course have to lock the rest of it in too. And this is where Jimmy of course excels, and he's not the only one. You have Jimmy, you have Li Ming, and you have Malthael. I mean, talking about a great setup against the Immortal. Jimmy in a bit of trouble, but that could have gone a bit better for the Crying Kittens. Doesn't seem like they're able to get the kill here. Instead, the red team just falls back and applies more pressure to the Immortal, and this is bad news for the blue team. I have to stress once again how important this is here. Seriously. Because this is kinda nuts if you think about it. With the 2-0 lead, if the Jellyfish Boys lock in another map win, then they are 3-0 in the best of 7. Which would mean that the Crying Kittens, to turn it around, have to win 4 maps in a row. Impossible? No. But insanely difficult. Now, we have seen crazy comebacks in the past. A couple of Gold League tournaments in China come to mind, where especially the European teams were taking big leads because they played their best maps, and then Korean and Chinese teams were able to bring it back and reverse sweep because their best maps were being played just a bit later. But right now, we'll find out if the Crying Kittens can really put a dent into the defense here, because they are starting to run a bit out of steam. Bot lane pressure is on, level 7 talents for both sides. They try to make the play for Dibbles maybe even. Yeah, but not quite. It's a nice effort already. 50% HP on the fort after the engage, the fountain down, and the entire wall plus towers destroyed. That's about as good as it gets, honestly. So, good for them. 12 stacks also for ETC. I mean, obviously comes at the back of them winning the objective, so you get some extra globes, but that's definitely a great start for ETC here. Real nice setup for them now. They haven't gotten the kill, but again, you get the objective, you push the structures, and you are good to go. Now, level 10 abilities are also going to have a huge impact here, since we have multiple targets for a decent nano boost on the side of the Jellyfish Boys. Lockdown gets attacked though, and he's, yeah. Oh, no way! Lockdown gets out! What? Wow. I would not for a second have believed in him surviving all of this. That was clutch. That was insanely clutch. That was so clutch that we're going to take another look at it. Check this one out. Keep an eye on Malthael. Malthael gets jumped here, and he's pretty much dead, and Ana comes in with a pew pew pew, and he is able to survive. And now the fight over the bottom camp. Diablo, he wants it. He might just get it. And they're giving it up. Yep, the camp gets stolen away. Urel was already rotating in, so Jellyfish Boys, they give up the camp. Job well done by the Crying Kittens. Still 1 kill against 0, despite all the brawling that we are seeing here. And now with the next objective coming up soon on the map, the teams will try for the second lock-in here to take it out. But, whew, that is quite the game. Yep. Top side. There we go. Alrighty. We got our move straight in, and I keep saying it, but with all the tools that we're having for the Jellyfish Boys, they should win that halftime show every single time. I mean, Malthael isn't even here, and they got with Li Ming and Jimmy just two heroes that are so good at burning the Immortal down that they win the halftime show with roughly 3,000 point difference to spare. And Malthael wasn't there to chip in some extra damage by himself. So that just shows you how impactful that is. The camps are both taken, and the teams are trying to make their way over to level 10. Getting the advantage with the heroic abilities is just too big, so nobody makes the attack here happen, since they're too afraid to run into an opponent that locks in the early ult and then gets a quick kill. But now we have it. The nano boost is in. Ults all as you would expect. The last rides comes through. We're waiting for ETC. Mosh pit is likely. Of course, there's also the engage potential with the light bomb. Frankel, and he gets taken down. Urel comes in with a big hit after she just dodged out on the damage. And that was also the nano boost target. Lockdown this time, he's not getting out of here, but Urel dies too. Didn't have a chance to pop her ult. Here comes the light bomb. ETC stops them for now. Does he have the slide? And yes, he gets away. So a 2-for-1 trade in favor of the blue team. Now maybe finally an opportunity to take an objective here. 3 kills in total for them against the 1, but everybody is back on the map and the red team is setting up for the attack here. Whew. Okay, so let's see what they can do with the blue team falling back. That's a bit of free extra damage that they can drop onto the Immortal. And the red team still has a big lead on the Immortal damage, so let's not forget about that. That definitely still exists. Kyocha also gets a bit murdered here. Needs to be very careful because Last Rites is going to be up soon again. Of course, he still has his ult up, so that's kind of important too. Uh-oh. Stun into the Immortal stun, but ETC gets out. That got scary for a moment here for them. So now, still the Pew Pew. And Sylvanas did a great job here at the top. And with Odin being popped, they're really trying to poke it down now. Yeah, blue team might just win this one after all. They were far behind, but now they're not only closing the gap, they're getting ahead here. Odin has a huge impact on this, and they're gonna get it. The question is there gonna be a kill against them? They take the Immortal, so good for them. Everybody else trying to get away. Nano boost, and just not enough damage. Li Ming gets burned to a crisp within seconds and has to peace out. Frankel also retreating here. And so is Lockdown. Relic, he... Oh, careful. Yeah, Last Rites gets dropped. No kills. I mean, they're exchanging really everything that they have. It's a barrage of abilities that is flying through. Ults are being used too, but nobody dies. We still have the Immortal up at the top lane. The shield wasn't big to begin with. They should be able to save the fort if they are making the commitment. But Malthael is at the bottom of the map. And with the help of Sylvanas, it seems like they're going to get this one after all. With Malthael not being here, this being a 5 versus 4 and the Sylvanas pressure, there is just no way for them to hold this. So Malthael was going for the experience first, abandoned the bot lane now. Fort here still rather low, but up at the top, they're now going straight up for the fight. And I really like that we're seeing more of an aggressive play from the Crying Kittens, so good for them. Really making the moves here. Doing whatever they can in this case. And the wall gets opened up too. Now, the one thing I have to say is that after game number 1, game number 2, we always have to keep in mind that you cannot underestimate the red team. Lockdown's team, you give them a chance, they'll come back and they will punish you hard. Yeah, they are out there. They really... You can't give them an opportunity. You do at your own peril. So now Kyocha, he's skirting the edges again. Light bomb, not having any effect here, but look at Samad on the Sylvanas, jumping in deep, and the Wailing Arrow, that's the end of Anna. Granny is down, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is an easy kill, as Frankel is desperately trying to get a hit, and oh my god, dodging out on the Diablo engage. That timing on the teleport was so perfect. It's such a difference when you see the Korean players play on their own server. We now had some Koreans participate in matches on the NA server, sometimes even on Europe, and obviously they always play with the ping disadvantage, and you can see the difference here. You can see how much of an impact that has. There's the kill. Yeah, the first one down, ETC! He survives, but what about Turkus? Yeah, he gets out too. But Jimmy didn't make it, and neither did Sylvanas, so that's 2 kills that they have right here. Now always a chance to go for a quick kill against Frankel again, but he is still alive. Crow in the back with Anna is just getting one hit in after another. He is working overtime to keep everybody in play. So yeah, they need to make sure that he is getting a bit of an overtime bonus here. I mean, this guy is just working his ass off. Holy shit. So now we got 5 kills to 2. The red team, they're doing whatever they can. They're really, really trying. But it's more momentum for the blue team as they have the early position on the Immortal on top of it. And they're gonna take it here. The halftime show. It's gonna get closer than I expected. But there it is. Yeah, we got the lead for the blue team this time. And honestly, for the Jellyfish boys, they need to come in swinging and just get some kills. And the problem is, of course, that in a position like this, Odin getting popped over here, Diablo setting up with Lightning Breath, that really threatens your Immortal very quickly. And nobody wants to attack into these abilities. So once they get popped, you normally try to retreat. But if your Immortal is already on its last leg, it makes it a bit difficult. And if your Keep gets attacked at the same time, then you are even more in trouble. So, yeah. Can they do something here now? That's the bigger question. Slight experience lead for the blue team. Position taken again. Sylvanas pushing the bot lane, trying to make sure that the next fort falls. And this is where the Jellyfish boys are saying, guys, we need to do something and we need to do it right now, as long as Sylvanas isn't even here. But here comes Samar already. Diablo with the engage attempt once more for Relic, but he can't get it. Penetrating round, obviously always a problem to deal with too. No nano boost just yet, but they are looking for the opportunities here to get kills. And the blue team brings it back. They're pressuring in. We're still keeping our eye on Tychus for whenever he puts his ult out. But Sylvanas is still pressuring. Sylvanas, has she overstayed? Has she overstayed? She might have. And yeah, oh, Anduin! Anduin! Keeps her alive. The fort at the bottom has fallen. The Immortal is taking damage. The Crying Kittens, everyone. Way better performance here by them. It took them 2 maps, but now they seem to be wide awake. Immortal hasn't been won yet, but here comes Odin. Of course, the Jellyfish boys are making the commitment now, but this is getting real nasty. In professional circles, we would say that the Jellyfish boys are in deep shit. There's the kill. Malthel is down. Granny is down. And they also kill ETC. 3 down, easy kills. Relic dies, Jimmy is dead. Good stuff. 4 heroes eliminated, and now the push straight up towards the top to take the keep down. Check this battle out. I mean, damn son. The easy double kill, then ETC falls a second later, and they're chasing Jimmy down too. Full 5-man wipe as they take the kill against Li Ming, and that is gonna be the first game that the Crying Kittens win in this series. Well done, well played, and we have a match on our hands. The best of 7 continues as we are about to head into game number 4 with a 2-1 score. Unless, of course, they somehow stop this now. They shouldn't be able to, but I'm a little bit scared. We've seen crazy things happen. Sylvanas down, but so is the core, and that's the point for the Kittens as the blue team puts the first point onto the scoreboard. Okay, Infernal Shrines, map number 4. Let's go. I gotta admit, I was a little bit scared, just a tiny little bit, that we would see a total sweep in the series after the first 2 games, especially after the second one. But now the blue team brought it back with a victory on Battlefield of Eternity, first point on the board in our best of 7 series, so not a need for a reverse sweep just yet over here. Well, we're on Infernal Shrines right now. Again, Tychus shines. Even in the European meta, he gets picked reliably here on this map. We're gonna always see that ban on Malfurion. Koreans, they just do not like to let Malfurion go through. Malfurion in the entire tournament made it through the ban phase once, and he was picked as a first pick and won the game. So yeah, very, very big difference in the priorities depending on which region you're playing in, what meta you're looking at. With Tigers being banned, I think Vala as an early pick is definitely going to make an appearance here. She's just fantastic here. The multi-shot build, of course, great on so many maps, but Infernal Shrines emphasizes that even more. You will always get value out of a good hit with that. You can just simply carpet everything with your arrows, and then you're going to add damage to the objective. You're going to have also damage against heroes. You're going to stack a level 1. What more do you ask for? So, where's she gonna get picked? Diablo's the first pick. Channeling the inner breeze here. I like how Diablo is a big part of the Korean meta and how he's very high in priority. I really, really enjoy that. And this is, of course, a great map for him. Not only because you can just control so much with his ults, no matter which one you take, but also you have a lot of wall stun opportunities that you can execute every single time that you're playing this one out. Now, I would expect Vala to be taken here. Question is more so with what. Greymane is another pick on the map. And they go Greymane over Vala. Okay, so they let Vala slide. They still pick Stukov. I talked a bit in the first game in particular of how big Stukov is as a support pick on the Korean server. And Infernal Shrines is of course a map where there's a lot of choke points on the objective that you can control with a good lurking arm. But the Greymane pick over Vala in this case. So we would still see, expect her to be coming in here. Greymane got banned a couple of times on the 2, and there's our Vala pick. Vala and Lucio. Okay. Lucio is already in for us, and yep, so far so good. With that, we also have Junkrat now banned out. Junkrat has seen a lot of bans. His displacement is of course great. You can try to isolate a target during any of these fights, and at the same time you have this outside poke against the shrine objective. Would expect that D.Va could make an appearance here too, considering that she's always great if you want to take the position on the objective by simply moving in and dropping the bomb and zoning everybody out. Of course, she's always nice to just keep the backline safe and get the boost in. And there is D.Va already taken. We get Garrosh together with that. So again, this flip setup that you can go for with a nice taunt. Side laner, still a bit of a question of what exactly we're getting for the red team. If this was Europe, I would definitely say look at something along the lines of like Blaze, Leo maybe, but we have seen very different approaches from the Korean teams here. So with Diablo already at the front line, I mean even Urella, she was taken in the last game, could be picked together with Dibbles. And we get Kelthas and Leo, okay. Kelthas, the salami boy is in. Shalanore, salami. Mr. Salami Pizza himself. I like it. So we're going to get our living bombs, we get our flame strikes in, and the gravity lapses to make sure that you're always there when you need that little bit of extra CC and that stun to take someone down. Also keeps the focus a bit away from other heroes here. Last pick as we're heading into our 4th game, and it is Mephisto. No nano boost for him, but we see Mephisto, so they're going a little bit mucko on Infernal Shrines here, me likey. And with that, we're heading straight up into game number 4. Is it possible for the blue team to tie the series right now, or are we going to have the big lead, the big advantage for Lockdown's team? We're going to find out now in Infernal Shrines. Game number 4, and it's party time. Kyocha on D.Va. We currently have Haben on Garrosh for the blue team, Pandagom on Greymane, Samad on Mephisto, and Praise the Sun on Stukov. To the right side of the map, it is the red team, Lockdown's team. Team Lockdown against Team Kyocha, with Lockdown himself on Leoric, going straight into the Austin's Renewal on level 1, Relic with Vala. Of course, the multi-shot build. Hebali on Diablo. Again, we got Frankel on Kalthas and Crow on Lucio. Okay, it's time to see which team is dominating here now. Skull build. Alrighty, we got the unyielding power on level 1 for Mephisto. It's already the first surprise here. Yeah, Haben gets attacked now too. And Frankel, yeah, the gravity lapse connects, but he's already a bit too far out, or they might have gotten the first kill here. Lockdown, of course, with all of that wave clear that they have now. And I'm pretty much looking forward to this. I was a bit afraid that it would be a 3-0 as we're heading into map number 4, but that's not the case. So instead what we're seeing is a pretty solid performance on the last map by the blue team that could definitely lead to a tie in the series. We haven't gotten there just yet, but it's going to be pretty interesting, because I want to see what especially that Greymane Mephisto comp can really pull off here. For me, that's the most interesting part probably of that setup now. And of course, you're always like looking towards any kind of stack hero like Vala, and you're thinking like, how far can they go with those stacks? How much damage can she do in the late game? But time will tell. Another one to keep our eyes on is of course Kalthas. The Italian salami boy is already here. Frankel, Mr. Pizza. And, well, let's see. There's the gravity lapse. Okay, Mephisto. And a nice connect with the multi-shot, I suppose, for stacks. Not really too big of a problem. Diablo was not in a position where he could add any additional lockdown. So, yeah, there it is. But yeah, good stuff. We got, by now, the top side still the 1 versus 1. Space Lord Leoric. Again, it's the Frost Giant. Either you go for the Frost Giant or you go for the Janitor. Those are the two. Dibbles there, Leo there in that skin. That doesn't really do anything for me. It was one of the few skins where I was like, nah, don't care. So, we got the Arsenal in. We also got the Neil Peasant for Leoric.
Say hello to your sister for me.
He's such a dog. That guy, seriously. I mean, alright, will do, but dude, you just overdo it a little bit. You're just way too much out there.
King.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly. So Leo always with the kinky plays, but with the mace to the face, he's going to try to control not only the minions, but also the objective. Whenever the shrine is active, the next one is spawning in 30 seconds. And of course, as you can tell, we have both of the teams going straight up for their shaman camps in an attempt to prep for that a little bit. With Frankel trying to get enough globes so that he can get his quest complete on level 1. That's going to be the first big thing for him. Make sure that he is having a bit more survivability during these fights. But let's go. Top of the map. I want to see some action. Give me the fight. We got the mages behind. And, well, here we go. A little bit more, a few more hits coming out. The Crying Kittens hoping to tie the series. And this could be the first big step if they can win the first objective and maybe get a kill or two. But the Jellyfish Boys, they have a very different plan here. Skull build on level 1, as we have Mephisto with the unyielding power straight into the spite. Vala is a bit low. She took a lot of damage in that last encounter. Is then again already sitting at 15 stacks. Good for her. Gets a few more connected. And this is really where she excels. You can do so much AoE damage and get stacks, plus at the same time also get more stacks towards the objective. So yeah, stacks towards the quest, stacks towards the objective. Relic is a bit low, and there's the kill. Nice! Mephisto with the first blood straight up against Vala. Nicely done. And there's the Arcane Punisher for the Kittens. Kyocha's team, they definitely woke up big time. Yeah, after game number 2, they sat down, they had an extra filling of kimchi, and that immediately, of course, increased the play power. As we all know, it's where real Korean pro gamers draw their strength from. It's all in the kimchi. Has to be good kimchi, but yeah. So now we got the Hot Pursuit already in. Level 7 is also ready. They're getting pushed very far behind the fort as the blue team is trying to take it down. But they might have overstepped just a little bit. Vala with the damage. Leo already at the bottom. Another nice multi-shot, but the kill against Lucio. Lucio is down at Diablo. He might get away. Yeah, thanks to the gravity lapse, he gets out. Wow, that was nicely done by Khaldor. That gravity lapse was definitely needed. So it's 2 kills to 0 and a fort destroyed. A fantastic opening for the blue team. He could have maybe gotten even a bit more. Now, the silver lining for the Jellyfish Boys is that they are stacking Vala with some crazy speed. He's already at 25 stacks. That's nice for the late game. But of course, at this pace, the blue team would just gain more and more momentum if that continues. It's a big if. We'll see if they can pull it off. But that's definitely what they're trying to do here. So we already have half a level until level 10. And then we're going to be sitting tight on this one. In the meantime, yeah, pushes straight in the middle. I'm going to try to pull something off here. Khaldor is still working on his level 1 quest, which is of course going to be super important as the game continues for him. He needs that survivability. Without it, he's going to be just a walking target. But the level 10 abilities, that's the bigger part. And now that they have their ults, it's going to be for at least a couple of seconds. The Jellyfish Boys being extremely passive, just trying to not die here to any kind of engage. Now also, we got the Durance of Hate. So we're gonna try and add even more lockdown to all of this. Stukov hasn't made a choice yet. Could go for the easy slaps here if he wants to. And here we go. I mean, honestly, the more that I... Oh, wait a second. Nah. I'm zoning them out with this a bit. The growing infestation. Blizzard's sexual innuendo on level 7. It's already been put to some good use. But here we go, the bullet is out, but the big slaps from Stukov. Slapping them around, there's the engages, they're trying to go for the entombment, they're immediately attacking Eben on Garrosh, and he's a bit low, eats the damage from Vala, but Relic has to retreat, and Garrosh survives. The turnaround at 10 is there now going for Mephisto, and that's a beautiful, beautiful gravity lap. And here's the Pyro, baby, and... he dies! He died in the end after all. The pyro itself not delivering the damage, but the rest of the skills delivering hard. Pyro blast to the face. Nicely done. Yeah, that was awesome. There's the kill right there, punishing Mephisto for the earlier kill against Vala. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I mean, again, the Pyro wasn't the one that delivered the kill, but it definitely prepped it. 15 stacks for Kelthas, another 4 now, and he's going to be in a much better position to position himself during the fight a bit more aggressively and then maybe land another one. 31 stacks for Vala, and I like it. This is going to be a fun game. 3 kills against 1. By now we got Lucio moving in again. And the more that I look at it, honestly, like if Lucio is anything, the speed that he zips around on the map, if he's not a pizza delivery boy, then I don't know what is. So yeah, we're going to call him Luigi from here on out. Luigi already silenced, trying to help the teammates out. Another Entomb is hitting hard. D.Va, yeah, with the explosion, trying to zone them away a little bit, not getting too much damage, but the control on the shrine has been taken. 26 stacks against 13, and they make the engage for the mech. D.Va's trying to make it happen as the rest of the red team now has to retreat. Diablo is low and so is Leo. Quest is completed for Mephisto. The kill against Vala. She saved her own life for a bit as she dropped the Rain of Vengeance in the choke point. But eventually she gets taken down by D.Va. Now we got 4 kills to 1. And it is the blue team that is gaining more and more momentum by the minute. Vala might have decent stacks, but if that doesn't translate into damage and kills, then you have a problem, period. So, bottom fort is down. That's the second one that they can destroy. Jeder Schuss ein Treffer. Every Punisher is another fort. And we get the It Hungers. Alright, he wants a pizza too. Luigi, do you think? It Hungers is in. No virulent reaction this time. Here comes the attack against Diablo as he's pushing the Punisher over. And that hasn't really worked out for them. Yeah, the increased range is in itself already going to be a bit crazy. So Stukov is going to have way more control over those fights on the shrine. Another braid flip. Dibbles is down. Guys, they are murdering. That's going to be a keep. We're only 9 minutes into the game and they're taking the keep down. Luigi is also dead. That makes matters even worse. And they're looking at the core and they're like, maybe Kelthas dead. What the hell is happening here? The jellyfish boys, they are murdered. But Greymane falling is a big problem. He's their main source of damage against the against the core. So the kittens will have to fall back here, but this is still an insane advantage. Haben, maybe, yeah, no way, no way. There we go, the Diablo engage, popping him. Easy peasy, big kill from Diablo. They're trying to save the core. Diablo himself is low though, and Leo's already moving away. Can they slow them? What a brawl! What a serious brawl! This is getting nuts. This is absolutely bananas right now. They go for Kyocha, and I don't think that he can survive here. Nope, Kyocha gets taken down. Great play by Luigi. Well done. And now they go for Stukov. It's cleanup time. Yeah, as the jellyfish boys take out the trash over here. It's still a 2-level lead for the crying kittens. And boy, what a game. What a series. They're even trying to invade the camp now, and they might get it. Nah, it gets taken. But can they get the kill? That's the bigger question, as they're making a play with another nice Entomb against Mephisto. Durance of Fate is already out. Mephisto gets saved. Pyroblast! And boom, there we go. Applause. Nicely done, the pyro kill. By the way, I gotta admit that a special place in my heart, the play from Diablo and from Leoric at the bottom of them. I'm going to take another look at it as they take the camp here. Check out the Entomb. The Entomb, and then it seems like he can survive. And look at Diablo now. He's just like, not on my watch. Bam! Jumps in, hammers him into the wall, and that's the kill right there. So now we are at 11-minute mark. One keep is already down. The fort at the top lane has been destroyed too. Both of the teams have level 16. The jellyfish boys, they have not given up yet. Got the missile build continue with the abhorred skull and the lightning reaction. Vala continuing the multi-shot. Leo ghosting around professionally as he went straight up into the ominous wraith and also the royal focus. In addition to that, we got the ignite now for Kelthas. 45 stacks for Vala. Structural position is pretty tricky for the Jellyfish boys, but at least they are on even talents again, and that's what really matters for now, at least for the next fight. So what can they do here? 34,000 damage for Vala. 52,000 for Mephisto. What a show-off. What a show-off. How much damage is he going to do? All the damage. 9 kills to 5. They're far ahead in the kill count. And of course, as the game continues, the catapults are going to scale and threaten the bottom core. Right now, not that big of a deal, but it will be later. And up at the top, the next objective is up. Third objective, and Khaldor is down. Khaldor is dead. Mephisto is ripping them apart. Honestly, the Jellyfish boys, they're gonna need a shower after this game because Mephisto is shitting all over them. It's crazy. Lockdown goes down to, and whew, that is getting nasty. That's just as it looked like maybe, just maybe they can make a slow comeback in this game. Instead, what we're seeing is the blue team stepping it up, going for the next objective, and murdering them completely. That's 2 easy kills, 2 down, and of course another protector too. Another Punisher. That's the 4th one in a row. They're getting... This is the 4th Punisher that they have now. They haven't lost a single one yet. And they're pushing the top lane. They will most likely break through the gate and through the wall before the objective is even up. Another keep likely to fall here. And the air is getting thinner for the red team every minute now. Vala can stack all she wants. If they can get the kills, or they can't get the kills, then they have a problem. Okay, so here we go. There's another quick play being made for the top side now. The Mortar Punisher is coming in. They're already taking the fountain down, and that keep doesn't look too good either. They want to end the game, obviously. They don't have level 20 talents yet. Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario if they had level 22. Here we go. Frankel gets attacked. They're all getting pushed back by it, and that is the end of keep number 2. What a turnaround in this series. The 2-0 lead initially, and now they're just getting crushed. Absolutely crushed. The jump, the stun, Lucio helping out with a high 5. They're going for the next keep. They're not quite going for the core just yet. They're just trying to take all of the keeps down, as it seems. And with all 3 keeps gone, that would of course be a disaster. Look at Frankel, he's in so much trouble here. There's the next attack happening. Diablo already with a lightning breath, trying to take Mephisto down. That's not happening either. Pyro blast, and bam, there's the kill. Pyro for the win. Greymane is down. Kyocha, he's on the run too. And they're able to make it out. That keep hasn't fallen, but the fort in the middle is under pressure, as you can see on the minimap. The blue team, on the other hand, is trying to get away. And Luigi is speeding up the red team whenever possible so that they can come in and maybe get another kill. They need to clean it up. They need to get more kills. And with Diablo, with a beautiful stun connect on Mephisto, he's at least able to get him one more. But there's the slow, thanks to the mace to the face. Luigi up at the front. And praise the sun is biting the dust too. That's 2 kills. That's 3 kills. Can they get another one? They're looking for it. They want it. And they're going straight up for the body block on Garrosh, and he is dead too. The trap against D.Va. Oh my god. They're trying to come back in this once again, but it is just so difficult. The level 20 is ready for the Crying Kittens. But let's face it. The Jellyfish boys, they at least catch up in experience, right? Now the core is already getting attacked. That's 3 catapults that are starting to do some damage here. Someone has to head back, and it is Leo. He's going to be the one trying to deal with it. Core is unlikely taking a lot of damage, just 5% off. That's not a lot. You get better deals at Walmart, honestly. Relic, then again, he's now trying to go for the camps, and he by now has the Farflight Quiver. That's going to help him. And I've been talking a lot about his stacks throughout the game, and it hasn't changed. He's at 72. 72 stacks is a lot at this point. That's a ton. We're 16 minutes into the game. But it doesn't change the fact that they lost both keeps, and this one has nearly been destroyed as well. Now the fort in the middle has also taken damage. Those are the only structures that are still holding on to. And now the push straight through the bot lane in an attempt to take at least some structures out. If they want to have a realistic chance to come back into this game, what they need to do is take some structures down. That's just what it is. Diablo with the Hellgate engage. That one didn't really work. And what else? 11 kills to 10 now. Frankel. And the kill against Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas down, and they are on the run again. Yeah, Kyocha's team, they are not joking around here. Problem after problem. Yeah, big difference here in the XP, of course, as well, especially on the hero experience. Now that Lockdown is dead too, and the next objective is up, they can play it safe if they want, or they can just try to go for core. The red team is gathering up at the top side in an attempt to take the catapults down and at least push that lane out by taking the fort now, sorry, the camp, and then maybe help to take the fort. But once the shrine is active, you get the Punisher and it's game. You get the Punisher and it's game. And with 2 heroes down for 20 to 30 seconds, how exactly are the Jellyfish boys planning on coming back into it? I honestly don't know. I don't think they have a chance here. You don't want to YOLO into a 5 versus 3, but what other play are you going to make? Do you really have a chance to take your opponent's team down and then defend against the Punisher too in a situation like this? I doubt it. And here comes the attack against Diablo, and now it's over. This is game. Right here. Right here. Right. This is game. I mean, don't get me wrong. There weren't any good options anyways. But now they lose Leo again. Diablo is dead. So this is pretty much over. Not really a move that you needed to make. Losing the 2 of them here was pretty pointless. But if we're honest, would it change anything? I doubt it heavily. Either way, we'll see if they can maybe set something up down here. But this is pretty much game over. The fort at the top is getting attacked, but that's about it. It looks like we're seeing a tie in the series here. It would be a small miracle if the Jellyfish boys would be able to somehow defend here, let alone win the game itself. So yeah, there's the jump already procced. They're baiting it into the middle a bit. But as I already said, this keep has nothing. Diablo goes down. He was back after he died because he had the soul stacks, but now he's dead for real. Yeah, and the Punisher is just going straight up for the core. Gets baited over again. Stukov is dead too, so there's at least no support for the blue team. But the core is falling, and it's falling quickly. And that's going to be all she wrote here. Yeah, that's going to be game. We have a tie in our best of 7 grand final. The Punisher jumps in 2 for some more action. And the Crying Kittens win the 2nd game in a row. GG and well played. Game number 5, Sky Temple. Yeah, it seems we have a series on our hands after all. So all of the fears that we had at the beginning of this with the 2-0 lead for the Jellyfish boys were unfounded. Instead, it's now all of a sudden the blue team that is just smashing. Mephisto on game 4. Are you kidding me? He ripped them a new one. Absolutely insane. So now we're heading into Sky Temple. That's a map where we got the birdie a couple of times, so we could get a false start play here. But I'm a little bit hyped because Kyocha's team stepped it up a lot from game number 2 to game number 3 and then game number 4. So let's go. First of all, ban on the Chrome Star. Luigi gets banned as well. Sad moment, sad moment. No more pizza deliveries. I don't know what to tell you. So with that, we get very likely Malfurion banned by the blue team, I would assume. So here on Sky Temple, what do you ban out if you're the Jellyfish boys? Okay, they get rid of Anna. Here comes the Malfurion ban. First picking up Tychus again. Ooh, Tychus ban! Malfurion is up! Wait, what? Malfurion made it into a game in the final? Really? Is that an insta-pick? And yes, of course it is. Arthritis Boy is in the house. Alrighty. Greymane and Diablo are instantly taken for the blue team. I mean, obviously, if you leave Malfurion up in the Korean meta, you know that he's going to be taken right away. So with that in mind, they had to have a game plan. And with how quickly they are picking Greymane and Diablo, you can already see that shaping up right here. But I like both. I like that Malfurion makes it in for once because he is so highly prioritized in the ban pattern that he normally doesn't get any play here in Korea. I also like that they immediately just like draft something around it. And now Vala's taken. May also for the blue team. Sorry, for the red team. I honestly don't think that Vala is coming as a surprise for them. With the bans that we've seen and Greymane picked, Vala makes sense. But what is Kyocha banning out? Are they trying to get rid of a lockdown hero? Or is it more so the second damage dealer that they are weary of? I mean, here's Malfurion. Okay, they banned the bird. Yeah, birdie on the map is obviously also the boss plays that you can make with it, but it's the macro pressure on the side lane that's most important. But yeah, let's go. Sky Temple. What are they banning? Can even choke them out a little bit more with the supports, but it's the Zeratul that they are the most afraid of. Don't really blame them. We had some really nice Zeratul plays from Kyocha earlier. They didn't win the game, but they did work with him. So yeah, no Zeratul. I mean, technically it could have been a Void Prison into an Apocalypse. You don't see it all that often anymore, but it's still one of the things that you can technically pull off. Brings us to Anduin and to Sylvanas. Okay, for the Alliance. Crybaby over there. For the Horde, if anything. I never really played World of Warcraft, but obviously would pick the Horde. Who wants the Alliance? Self-righteous dicks. It's all about the Horde, baby. Okay. Then again, I played World of Warcraft for like 6 hours and got bored out of my mind. So, screw that. Junkrat and Zul. Okay, we got the displacement. We got the pew 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 from the outside. And Zul with the slice and dice as Mr. Scythe is making it into the fight. And Kyocha with Yrel. Alright guys, we're set. The Diablo and Yrel combo again. They already played it on Battlefield of Eternity with huge success. Now they're going to try it again. Sky Temple is the 5th map. Which team takes the lead? We'll find it together right now. Game number 5, party time. Already on the left side, Kyocha on Yrel, again with Haben on Diablo. That combo was so awesome in one of the earlier games that they're just going for it again. We currently have Samad on Sylvanas, we got Praise the Sun on Anduin, Pandagom on Greymane. And on the right side of the map, Lockdown on Zul with Hebali. On May, we got Junkrat played by Frankel, Relic on Vala, and Crow on Malfurion. Okay, so let's see what they can pull off here, because if the blue team now wins another one, 3 in a row, then I'm a bit afraid for the Jellyfish boys. They got smacked around hard on the last map. I need that, you know, I need that fight coming. By the way, this mount is so shit. Like, who takes that voluntarily? It's such a bad mount. It is hot garbage. In a world in which the money pick exists, why would you do that to yourself? That weird ducky thing, if they would go for a real rubber ducky mount, then hey, I'd be on board. We could talk about this. I mean, but that, it's like, come on. Not like this, buddy. Anyways, so we have a pretty strong draft here for the Crying Kittens. The question is just pretty much, is Malfurion in the Korean meta OP enough that the Jellyfish Beans can now take all of that down? So, yeah. For now, what do we get? We get our 1-on-1 lane all the way top side, of course. Diablo also with this traditional level 1 going straight in for the Soul Shield here, as we've seen in every single game where Dibbles got played in this tournament. Now the camps are obviously all locked in too. We got Crow here on the right side as well. Siege Giant camps at the 1 minute mark immediately taken. Lockdown has to already tap. And yeah, it's party time. The Direwolf mount, by the way, also pretty good. One of the earlier mounts that Blizzard introduced to the game. But of course, back in the day when Alpha dropped, the money pick was still the most exclusive because you needed to unlock heroes for gold. And who dropped 10,000 gold on a money pick mount when you could unlock heroes instead? You know who? Your boy did, exactly. And all of the top players, pretty much. Everybody went for the money pick. You're just gonna flex a little bit in the game. You're gonna go oink oink against them. And yeah, they saw it was good. Anyways, now at that point we got our push towards the top. Level 4 Talons are obviously in, and that is a Sylvanas push par excellence, baby. Coming in, trying to take that down, but you're going up against Zul and the red team. They didn't waste any time reacting to it. They knew exactly what was coming, so they already have 4 heroes in position as the push hits and can defend pretty easily. It's a little bit of damage against the gate and the tower, but outside of that, it's not really too much. So a few more shots should go through the gate. But of course, Vala, the more they brawl, the more she's gonna stack. But that is not guaranteeing you that you're winning the game, as we saw in the last map. We had a lot of stacks for Vala, but it wasn't enough. Not nearly enough. And with that, now we have at least 13 for her. 2.5 minutes in, not bad. Bot lane, Kyocha and Lockdown are gonna rotate between the bottom and the middle of the map to get the experience. And it's time for the objective. The temples are activating. May on the happy cloud, already going in. Panda style. At the same time, Vala gets attacked and is still fine. Greymane, though, as they were attempting to collapse on her, was in a bit of trouble here. If that lockdown from Crow hits, if Malfurion is able to lay down the lawn, then that could be a potential kill. So our big bad wolf needs to be very, very careful how he approaches this. Top side, they let it slide for now. The mine pushed back immediately. But yeah, so it's pretty much just an exchange between the shrines that they have. The hot pursuit for Vala is now up to Greymane. We're going to keep our eye on him a little bit. With Diablo moving in. Always just waiting and see if they maybe go for a commitment, but yeah, they're not. So the shots are being fired. There's like a full setup, and this fort at the top is pretty much down. It's not quite destroyed yet, but they will move in eventually and try to drop it. Now the same cannot quite be said from the fort in the middle of the map as the final few shots hit, as you can see here. So it's still a bit low, but it's all fine. We haven't seen a single kill yet in this. The entire series got more or less reduced to a best of 3 now. If you have a 2-2 score, potentially 3 maps are remaining. But it's really Kyocha's team that has the most momentum here. Then again, that might be the first blood in the game. Haven gets attacked and he goes down. And here comes the push for Sylvanas. That ragdoll got scattered. There's the fort, and okay, the jellyfish boys, everybody. 3 quick kills and a fort. Hello, sir. That's about as good as it gets here. That's a great opening. And now they're in the middle of the map doing even more damage. And they're deciding, like, guys, I don't even know what to do here. So they take the siege giants, steal those away. Or at least try to. Already anchoring the play in the bush. Make sure that nobody can sneak in. Yeah, that's an easy camp steal. That's a level that they're already ahead. And quest completed for Zul, 18 stacks for Vala, so that makes things even better. And they're already taking down the bottom wall, which is of course hugely important because you want to take that fountain down. If you can eliminate that fountain before the objective at the bottom of the map spawns, you are in for a fantastic fight because you have sustain and your opponent doesn't. Vala and Sylvana still going toe-to-toe here. And they're anchoring this one too. It's level 10 that hits next. And they're trying to get the boss with it? I mean, why wouldn't you, right? You have a level lead. This reminds me a little bit of the good old McDonald's strategy of Fnatic in HGC that won them multiple matches too. If you're not quite familiar with that, so obviously since then we have seen a lot of patches. But what they did back then is they had just a strong 4-man that was pushing. I mean, the strategy doesn't matter too much. At the end of the day, what you were trying to do, you were trying to get the boss at level 10 with an early heroic ability and then push your opponent into oblivion. And it's not quite the same here for the Jellyfish boys, but thanks to that big 1-level lead that they were able to establish anyways, they now have a super early boss that allows them to take full on-map control at the bottom. So the thought process between what happened here is a little bit similar. Fnatic did that more or less intentionally back then. Not less, they did that intentionally. With a very strong 4-man and a good rotation between middle and top. But this is definitely, from the outcomes perspective, a bit similar. That fort is down. That's the second structure that has fallen. And they can still go for the shrine here too. So this is pretty amazing. For Sky Temple, this is great. You're taking so many structures down. I mean, look at Zul. He already escorted some additional minions into the middle of the map, so there's even more shots fired. Down here, they're trying to go for the fight. And Anduin barely saving Urel, who popped the ult. The problem is that Haven is about to go down, and with Diablo gone, and that's the main tank eliminated. And wow, this entire series has been bonkers. I mean, seriously. The 2-0 lead initially for the Jellyfish boys, looking fantastic. 2 maps after that, it's a tie. And now the Jellyfish boys, after just getting murdered in the previous games, they are swinging into game number 5 with a huge amount of momentum after the first few minutes of the match. And they can take down every single outer structure without any problem whatsoever. This is a bit nuts. 20,000 damage for Vala. She's doubling the damage of Sylvanas. Doubling it. Yeah, those kittens are going to QQ hard after this. It's going to be a lot of crying if that continues. And yeah, they take the camp at the top. I honestly don't really know what the kittens can really do here. They're trying to push the structures now. They know that the camp is apparently taken, I suppose. So I like that they're trying to get some extra damage in here, especially on Sky Temple. That is insanely important. But they need to be very careful that they don't overstay or it's going to be a problem. And here comes the Ice Wallers. They're attempting to force the fight. Nice! Greymane gets saved by Anduin for a moment, but it's not over yet. They're still trying to chase them down. And here comes Mei. The Light Bomb dodged out. Greymane is already dead as Junkrat got the kill. And that's another one. Nicely done by Vala. Gets the Rain of Vengeance here. That's 6 kills to 0. More... I mean, this is 2-level lead here. Oh my god, Jesus. Stop kicking them while they're down. Bot lane pressure for keep already. Now they're not going to go for the keep itself, but if they can open the wall up, that alone is just so good. This is also a lane where the boss is going to push through if they can ever get it again. I mean, what the hell? Junkrat providing a bit of vision, already creating some space here behind the gate even. The chattering teeth are already on the move and they're taking the wall down. That's all that you really need to do here. Take the wall down, see if you can maybe also drop the fountain. They're continuing. They got the level 13. The level 13 talent is already there. That's a big lead for them. Here comes the fight. This is nasty. This is absolutely nasty. Lockdown's team is just beasting it in game number 5. Absolutely beasting it. So now the top lane gets pressured, 6 kills to 0. Yeah, they need to deal with that, which means that now everyone is falling farther away from the objective. That allows Heberly at the bottom of the map to lock this one in. And you can guess what's happening. Yeah, they're gonna lose the keep. We are 9 minutes and 30 seconds in, and they are pretty much guaranteed to lose the keep. Unless, of course, they don't channel the bottom. Now the Siege Giants are moving in. That alone is going to be a problem for the structure. But they are willing to let this one slide at least for now. Big engage from Sylvanas. That was a little bit too big though. And that might even be a kill, and indeed it is. Junkrat gets the kill, and that is a dead Sylvanas. The mid-jump quick kill against Urel potentially. She gets locked in. Anduin is down. Wow. Vala dies. Finally a kill. Finally a kill for the blue team. But while the chase is on, the bot lane keep is in trouble. And the Siege Giants are likely going to take it now together with the catapult. And even if they don't, the shots are being fired. Mei is already sitting here in the middle doing her thing. Level 16 talents are now up. And the keep is taking more and more damage. Yes, Greymane is doing what he can, but of course with Junkrat now at the bottom of the map, the first keep is already gone, and now both of them are attacking the middle, so they could lose even another one if they get the full channel through. This is crazy. These games. The entire series just blow for blow, time and time again. Few more shots fired. Yep, this one is rather low. If they now fight for the bottom of the map and get the remaining shots, they're gonna get the keep in the mid lane destroyed too. Kyocha and his boys, they are getting massacred over here. Yeah, another attempt to save some of the allies, but the blue team is in full retreat already. Boss is up and Kyocha, hop little goat, hop, and oh, 30 hit points. 30 hit points, but Anduin is 0. And so is Sylvanas. That's game. That is a game. Are they gonna go for core? It seems like they go for boss at first. You can go for boss. I would still send someone down to the bottom of the map to make sure that you're taking the keep in the mid lane down too. You only need a couple of shots from this one. Take the keep down. Just do it. Take the boss. I'm totally on board with that. They want to time it also with the Siege Giants, as you can see. So they want to have the double boss or the double camp push at the bottom of the map. But they should send someone down to take that keep. Just on the off chance that it's gonna become a problem. Yeah. Just take 2-3 shots. That's all that I want. But yeah, there we go. Alright, Lockdown here has the same thought. He's like, yeah, okay. We can take the keep down in the middle. I'm gonna join you guys in a second. Just on the off chance that they're defending, we're gonna take that one down. So the keep is also gone. Lockdown is on the way. Urel, by the way, hasn't even died yet. He's the only one on the side of the Crying Kittens that hasn't been obliterated yet in this game. And here comes the push. Still no level 16 talents. Still no level 16 talents. Kyocha was trying to get it for the team. Here comes the Reptile Relic. And he's down. Greymane with a kill. Junkrat is dead too. As signs of life from the team in blue. Uh-oh. Anduin, he gets a 16 and he has the double pull and he uses it as a last second. Core is falling, but it's not falling fast enough. So they will survive to fight another day. Good for them. Nice kills from Sylvanas and Greymane. The core is down to 76%. The top fort is also under pressure. So, yep, they are doing well here. But, of course, now there's a couple of shots still left at the bottom of the map. Can still try and get those. Put even more pressure onto the top lane this time. And talking about the top lane, on the side of the red team, it's under a bit of trouble. There's a second fort that falls. And down here, they're still trying to get kills. And Greymane, hello, sir. Where are you trying to go? Where are you trying to go, my friend? Back to the rest of the team. Alright, no problem. You just go. Yeah, well. You would have loved that kill, but they couldn't get it. 10 kills to 3. Yeah, they're going to try to come back into this, but boy, good luck with that. That was a bit too much. So now towards the top, Relic is just like taking all of this down. Just obliterating the minions, taking those easily. And with the entire 5-man back up on the map, they're still holding on to a 2-level advantage. Which of course means that they're going to get a very early level 20 and then can play around the Storm Talons. For now, the blue team is just trying to stabilize on the map a little bit. And that hasn't quite worked out yet. What is happening here? Hotkey galore. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening, but sometimes hotkeys are jumping into player visions. I don't like that. There's some kind of override somewhere. But anyways, we're still Gucci. And we are only in one vision. So let's fix that too. But here comes the level 20, as already expected. And, well, there we go. Up towards the top side. Matt and Panda are already sitting tight. Everybody else is sitting in the middle of the map. And there's a level 20. And now they can make the play. Potentially for core. Maybe just make a move here over onto the next objective once that it spawns. It's a single temple that is spawning up though. And with them already having control over one of the mercenary camps, that's the best thing they can do here, I suppose. And yep, there we have it. Alright, so temple activating at the bottom of the map, but they're not even caring about that. If they can take the keep down here, then it's all that they need to do. And off we go. Gate down, fort down, keep down if they focus on it. And if after that, if they take the temple at the bot lane, they're going to end the game with it. If they take it now, they're at least going to take the keep. And with the level 20 talents, they're just playing it as safe as they can. I mean, there's a couple of thousand on the line here, obviously, so you want to play this as safe as you possibly can, and therefore it makes a whole lot of sense for them to not YOLO into that fight. They likely are able to win it, but if it turns against them, then they are throwing away a huge advantage that they're holding now, so why would you do that? Boss is up in another minute, by the way, so yeah, takes 1 more minute for that. But as they get the channel at the bottom of the map, it is going to result in the top keep destroyed. And that will mean that every single lane is pressuring heavily against them. So, pretty much the best thing that they can do here. Yep. It's the safest play that they have. The downside is that it gives more time to the Crying Kittens to get their own Storm Talents in their level 20. So that's the downside here. Yeah, but the core is already going to lose some of the shield. I don't think they can get too much damage done. I mean, there's a couple of shots left. It's not like it's not going to do any damage. Of course, it's going to do some. It's going to break through the shield, but it's not going to take the entire thing down. But it's definitely dropping it even lower, and that increases the chance of a backdoor happening eventually. 53%. Few more shots are going to get fired now. And, well, that puts it down to 35. Yeah, that's nasty. As the game continues and catapults continue scaling, that of course also means that one catapult push could take that down too. Ready to play down here at the bottom of the map for the Siege Giants. And if you're the blue team, you're in trouble. If you don't pay attention to the minimap, it might be that your opponent is just executing a quick play for the core and just backdoors you. If you lose a team fight, you're also in trouble. If you are pinned down around the boss area, for example, then eventually the top lane is going to become problematic. So, yeah, this is where the Crying Kittens have to go for the boss. They have to make this play. This is a shitty play, but they need to do it. It's their only chance to win. Taking the boss, forcing a fight here, winning the fight and winning the boss. This is the only way they can win the game. That's why they do it. It's a risky one to make, but it's the only chance they have. So here comes the play. Always the Hail Mary on this map. Junkrat with the Riptire attempt into the back. Gets it out. The kill against Anduin. And Greymane is also down. 2 already eliminated. And this is gonna be victory. Yeah, the Jelly Bean Boys, the Jellyfish Boys, they're taking it. 5-man wipe, and they take the boss. And now they can go for the core and take the game. It was the only play available to the Crying Kittens. There's nothing else that they can do. They have to roll the dice on this one and make the risky play. And, well, it didn't work out for them. So now there's the consequence. The 3-2 lead for the Jellyfish Boys. One map up as they get another kill in. 16 kills in total against 3 in this game. The 5th map of the best of 7 grand final. And the red team is once again in the lead. GG and well done. Game number 6. Yeah, Towers of Doom. We could go the full distance. The way that these two have been going at each other, we could end it all on the final map. But right now, the Jellyfish Boys, they have the chance to end it right here. They pretty much crushed on Sky Temple, which was a little bit surprising. Not that they won the map, but in which fashion they did it. I mean, they dominated the game from start to finish. And now, of course, the big opportunity to end the entire series, crown themselves the champions of the Fish Cup. And it's a bit nasty. Malfurion won, by the way, so Malfurion gets immediately banned out. It seemed like Kyocha's team had a bit of an idea of how to go up against this. And yeah, it's just kind of funny. Malfurion has nowhere near the priority in the European scene that it has in Korea. But here it is just Malfurion bans every single day. And it's just crazy. 2 times did he make it into the games. 2 times did he win. And now he gets banned right away. Vala on one side, Tychus on the other. Familiar picture. Towers of Doom, obviously, also a little bit of a different setup. Sylvanas could make another appearance here. We got Stukov as the priority support, considering that Ana is more or less consistently banned out at this point. May also gets taken again. And the Jellyfish Boys. Lockdown's team. What a fight between the two of them. Generally with best of 7s, I'm always a little bit doubtful because it always feels, you know, it's like, it's going to be like a 4-0, 4-1 or something. But this one is just nuts. Now they're going at it completely, so I like it a lot. But, well, right now we got the Birdie banned out, so currently no Falstad. Diva gets also banned around those fights. Falstad has been played on Towers of Doom in the tournament a couple of times now, and they are starting to play more. It was really weird on the first day when we had the quarterfinals. Pretty much everybody ignored anything that potentially can be used as a global, and finally, in the semifinals, they started to pick it up a lot more. So now we got Falstad in play right here. And here comes the Hogger Pig. Plus Deckard! Look at that, the old man! They're going full Diablo setup nearly. Actually, they could go full Diablo setup with this. Hogger, yeah, I mean, we have a couple of nulls also in the Diablo universe. So there's that. But we got Vala, we got Diablo, we got Deckard Cain. Okay, let's go. The old man. Oh, stay a while and listen. Okay. How about I stay a while if you shut the fuck up? Sylvanas! The old war stories of Deckard Cain. Sylvanas and Zul. Yeah, we've seen that before. So the Sylvanas pressure together with Tychus. And Frankel plays an aggressive Sylvanas. Oh. Plus Zul for the wave clear. Top, mid lane. Yeah. Guys, I'm excited. Game 6. Oh my god. Last one. Let's go. Samad had, with his Carrigan, huge impact in the quarterfinals, but he was shut down in the grand final here, and this time he's going for the Tassadar pick. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Protoss. A move to victory. There we go. Towers of Doom. Zerg here, by the way. Towers of Doom. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 6, maybe the last map of the series, or are we going to go the full distance? We're going to find out right now. The Korea tournament. Team Kyocha against Team Lockdown. Crying Kittens against the Jellyfish Boys. Team Kyocha against Team Lockdown. And off we go. Kyocha on the left on Hogger. We got Habin on Diablo. Samad on Tassadar. Praise the Sun on Deckard Cain. And Pandagom on Vala. On the right side of the map, Lockdown playing Zul. We got Frankel on Sylvanas. Hevali on May, Relic on Stukov, Tychus, and Stukov gets played by Crow. Okay. Yeah. This is one of the worst characters for Praise the Sun to play, because I can tell you one thing. If you're playing Deckard Cain or Karazim, the one thing that both of those have in common is that both of them are bald. So Karazim probably by choice, Deckard Cain knows so much, but I can tell you one thing. If you're bald, you're not praising the sun, not anytime soon. That's the first thing that you learn when you ever shave your head, that yes, you have to use sunscreen on your head too. It's the first thing that everybody that shaves his head for the first time in their life in summertime learns the hard way. I can promise you that much. I had the interesting experience that I shaved my head in Australia for the first time. And that was around Christmas. And for those of you who don't know, Christmas time around in Australia is pretty warm and pretty hot. And I spent the entire day outside with friends, drinking beer, celebrating Christmas. And then the next day, I got a very, very quick reminder why you normally go and use sunscreen whenever you're exposed to sun for a long duration of time. So yeah, interesting name for an interesting hero choice here. But there it is. So if at any point in your life you're thinking about shaving your head, definitely give that a go. But if you're doing during the summertime, make sure that you have a little bit of sunscreen and make sure that you put it on your head as well. You can thank me later. So, with our 6th game coming up, we got on level 1 the heat transfer. We got the Might of the Banshee Queen in for Sylvanas. And I want to see what they can pull off now. The Vala stacking is of course continued. Panagom still on the shitty skin here. I mean, how dare you put my Vala on something like this? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so our 1 versus 1 up at the top lane. Hogger, the Fleabag, is going to play it out with Zul. Zul, he honestly needs to tank a little bit of sun at least. I mean, that guy is just white as a sheet. He's going full ghost. Okay. There we go. Anyways, so we got the level 4 talents in, and here we go. Electric Fence, okay. And oh, there's the kill against Sylvanas. I like the combo between Tacita and Diablo just because you can prop up any wall for Diablo to stun targets into. So if you have a couple of players that are synergizing really well and know what they're doing, you will see that over and over again, and it's just beautiful. Tacita, after the call out, pops the wall down, gets the fence in, and then Diablo comes in with a quick stun and takes them out. Absolutely amazing. So Tacita already on the way back here, getting a little bit of hit points and mana back. Triple altar phase is coming up, so you want to be prepped for that. Mid lane, bit of a skirmish, nothing too crazy. But the blue team with the early kill, of course, putting themselves into the driver's seat, at least for now. No big lead, no talent advantage, no nothing, but at least they get the momentum in the game. Good for them. Kyocha, on the other hand, might lose it for them now, and yes, there's the kill. Alright. Easy one, and that of course comes at a pretty unfortunate time. Praise the Sun at the bottom of the map is also... yeah, okay, goodbye. Oh, stay a while and get wrecked. Alright, so he's down. Easy kill against Deckard Cain, and that is gonna result in 2 altars for the Jellyfish Boys, everybody. Yeah, they got it. And here's the shots fired. Boom! Straight into the face. Okay, the level 7 talent follows, of course. They might even be able to put Sylvanas down to the bot lane to break through the gate here, especially since Vala is a little bit low at this point. So, yeah, that's 1 tower down for sure, even with a rotation from the mid lane. Won't be able to do anything about that. That gives us also the hot pursuit now. And, yeah, things are kind of looking okay for the Jellyfish Boys. Slight advantage to the 2 versus 1 order situation. They got 2 kills. They pushed the bot lane a bit. So blue team has to be really careful that they're not falling behind. They started off with the first blood, but after that, the end of Hogger, of Kyocha, that came at a very unfortunate moment in the game and led to that lead here for the red team. Team Lockdown and their attempt to lock in the victory. And in this series, to my knowledge, there is... Honestly, the prize pool has been increased by a bit of crowdfunding too, so I think they had $6,000 just for this grand final right now, not even including 3rd and 4th place. So initially it was a little bit less, but the crowdfunding came through. Now we have Relic also getting attacked here. And look at Tacita, look at these walls. Unbelievable.
He has the best walls. They're amazing. They're so awesome. And he's always making the Zerg pay for them. It's incredible.
Alright, fantastic performance here by Tacita. 1 wall after another. The Donald would hire him immediately. And yeah, that led to multiple kills now. Diablo is just stunning them into the wall whenever they are set up. This time he just cut off the path of retreat, so that's led to a counter kill. And it's fantastic for map number 6. I mean, this is about as good as it gets, blow for blow here. Each team is going straight in for the big boy damage, getting kill after kill and just trying to get momentum in the game and take the advantage here, exactly the way you want it if the best of 7 series goes this far in. So yeah, it's great. 26 stacks for Vala. We're going to keep an eye on her. Still, the fight is there. And Samad, he is going to try and maybe set another wall up for Diablo too. Which would be kind of neat as well, of course. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah. Level 10 abilities. That's, of course, what both of them have been waiting for. Tacita with the Archon. On top of that, the Hoarder pulled. No surprises, really. Pretty much what we've seen throughout the entire tournament here as ults. We had, I think, 2 games on Sylvanas where she went into mind control. One of them in this grand final. Outside of that, it's always Wailing Arrow. There's the wall. Yeah, not only Tacita can build one. Okay. Mei is already auditioning too. Yeah, she wants to have the contract. And they're going for the Tacita kill. Easy peasy. Damn. Jesus. The Jellyfish boys. Bam. In with the triple kill. Big plays being made by them, and they are carrying the momentum hard. Look at them. Look at them go. Just running away here. Diablo's back to business, and now a chance to maybe even convert the bell tower. I don't think they can go that far, but they can definitely damage it at least a little bit. Check out that kill setup here. I mean, damn. Tacita was the first one to fall after all of this, and then they dropped Diablo, who of course respawned thanks to the souls that he had, and they even got the 3rd follow-up kill. What is set up again? I mean, damn. Every time you just think one of the teams is establishing a bit of a presence on the map, the other comes out and just drops them. I mean, full-on drop kick. So, right now, we got 5 kills to 2. Vala is still stacking it up. Also, here at the bot lane as the fight continues for the bottom lane. The 2 solo laners are obviously trying to catch all of the experience in the middle and at the top. Going at this a little bit like Pokemon. You gotta catch them all. Every experience globe matters. Let's go. Yeah, but the grenade to the face of Vala. Diablo with the engage once again. Frankel jumping out. And there's the ice wall. And the old man with the setup. The lightning breath for the barbecue play. And Tychus gets melted. Absolutely melted his little spacesuit here. Another kill for the blue team. Half a level behind, 12 to 12. And 5 versus 5 at the bottom of the map now. Yeah, me likey. Still, one play after another. It seems like the Crying Kittens might even be the first team to convert a bell tower over. At least they're attempting to. But the level 13 talent, once it's available for the red team, could avoid that. Could prevent that from happening. Double ult up at the map. Level 13 is in, and as soon as they have the talent advantage, the blue team is just falling back a little bit. Alright, but yeah, this is a good one. I like it. So now we're already looking at, yeah, Kyocha at the top. Did I just say they already had 13? If I did, then excuse the brain fart, but obviously they're about to lock it in. They're not quite that deep into the experience pool just yet. Now we're talking. Neo still coding is in. And it's time to shine. Tychus with the 25,000. Yeah, and an easy exchange. One altar for an altar. Shots are being fired. Yeah, Tychus in this case, by the way, not going for the Master Assassin. So if you watch this tournament, you know that Master Assassin has been a go-to choice for a lot of the Tychus players here. But now we're seeing the bigger they are. Diablo triggering that pick, of course. Oh, Vala dodging out on the ice wall. But they catch Diablo and they're trying to go for the rest too. As Mei slides in, Relic has already used his Arr. And Tacita transforms as well, straight up into Archon. Both of them, therefore, not really getting too much out of their ult. Trying to go commit to the fight, but yeah, it's not really happening. The super healing potion is in. On top of that, we got the pummel. Still the easy rotations between the 2 side laners. Top lane, mid lane, ring around the rosy play, catching the experience as everybody else is just trying to prep it up. But the stacking process on the blue team side is something that starts to scare me a bit, because we're now 10 minutes in and we have 50 stacks already for Vala. In addition to that, it's 100 on Tacita. If we are seeing these brawls continue, then as much as I like the performance of the of Team Lockdown here, of the red team, I have to say that once the stacks are... If they stack at that pace, your late game is going to be rough. Now, they can still get the kills, of course. They showed it multiple times. A good setup from Mei alone is worth a lot here, but still, the increase in damage output is a bit scary. So, for now, we got Zul also starting to move in. And still all about the pumpkins here. Now, if we can convert a bell tower now, that would be kind of nice. They're trying to go for the kill. There's the ice wall. Zul. Yeah, dude, you have no chance. I'm sorry, baby, but there is just no way you're going to get out of this one. Zul is down, and the Crying Kittens are trying to push it to game number 7. They're a bit behind here, but they're going to tie that up as the first channel is already through. Tacita is getting this one connected too, and that means that both of the teams are now looking at 24 points on their core. Oh, easy peasy. And the damage output, Vala's sitting at 36,000, easy top damage for her in the game. 32,000 for Tychus. The attack over here against the bell tower is finally converting 1 over. And they have taken the lead in experience too. we could go the full distance here. It's kind of crazy. Didn't really think that would happen. I was so scared after the first 2 maps that it might be a 4-0, and now we see the exact opposite happening. Vala hasn't died yet. Neither has Tychus nor Mei. Those 3 are the survivors over here. Lockdown. They're struggling a bit. I mean, again, they can still come back into this. It's not like they lost the game or anything. This has always been a huge comeback map. But it's kind of nuts how this always changes. But now the red team with a kill attempt, and they get Kyocha. Kyocha is down, and that's Sylvanas with maybe a bit more push power. Can they at least take the 2 towers down? Already the play being anchored by Crow here, at least to an extent. Nothing is happening in the bot lane now either. And they take the wall down completely. And Sylvanas can push this even a little bit further. It's another 25 seconds until Hogger is back, so they are definitely doing work here. I'm not sure if they can take the bell tower completely. Diablo is trying for the engage, but this is a 4 versus 3. 2 heroes at the bottom of the map. Ice wall is out. Old man telling stories again, boring everybody to death, and they're falling asleep right in front of us. But there's disconnect. And hello, sir, Tacita solos Tychus at the bottom of the map. Yeah, a little swimsuit model here. Apparently did not really expect how hard Protoss can hit. So yeah, in the meantime, the fight up at the top is also happening. And it's just like going for the next engage, and Stukov gets bullied around a bit. 5 kills to 6 now. And Tacita with another channel. Yeah, that's 10 shots fired, baby. Bam. 5 and 5. We're down to 14 to 24. And with Tychus gone, there's a small chance that they're getting this one too. Now, Tychus is going to be back in another 5 seconds. But Kyocha and his team, they definitely want to do whatever they can to force the final map here. And a kill against... Oh, a kill against Mei would be the dream. I don't think that they get either one. I don't think they get the kill against Mei, and I don't think that they can actually channel this one through. Especially now that Tychus is back. Tacita is still at the bottom of the map, trying to take pumpkins that he can push in. Ice wall is out. Yeah, not quite. But Haben gets a bit locked down here for just a moment, and then they turn it, and there it is, the kill against Sylvanas. And another great ult from Praise the Sun. He's been locking those in so reliably, it's just scary. Lockdown low and on the run, he's dead too. Bot lane, that's where we now have pumpkins pushing in. Likely another few shots fired. They're trying to rotate down to stop them. But up at the top, that's another 5. They get connected here. The pumpkins are stopped, but the core is now down to the single digits. We're looking at 9 points on the core. Yes, you heard right. 9. I couldn't believe it either. So with that, we have a boss up on the map, technically. They go for the bell tower in the middle to take this one too. And 75 stacks for Vala. 14 minutes in. 14 minutes into the game. 75 stacks. So, yeah. 7 kills to 6. And 1.5 levels ahead. Level 20 is soon going to be there. They can escort another set of pumpkins in. Obviously, the red team is now using a bit of their time to retake the bell tower in the middle. So it's pretty much a time trade that you have. You invest some time to take it, and your opponent has to then retake. It's also a bit of an experience question that you're talking about. And now the push straight to the bottom of the map with those pumpkins. This is the main goal, trying to get those in. And they're throwing it back whatever they can. 60,000 damage for Vala. And Vala is, of course, in that situation stacking further and further. And if they can get a kill too, that's even better. But Vala has by now 360 additional damage on those multi-shots. 360. Yeah, and now they can go for the next altar. Half a level until 20. Half a level is all that they need here. This is gonna be more than difficult for the Jellyfish boys to bring back. Now, they are trading. They're going for the boss here, and they leave the altar at the bottom of the map. The reason is actually quite simple. There's multiple reasons. One is that you're afraid your opponent is going to hit 20, and then they win the fight. And also, you want to remove this from the map so that there is no option for the Crying Kittens to take this at any point. That's the only thing that they can really do. They're, of course, also trying to at least take a bell tower up at the top, but the shots have now been fired, and that drops the core points down to 4, which means a single altar later on in the game, or a boss is going to end the game. If you get a few pumpkins connected, then you can achieve the same goal. But either way, the situation is dire for the Jellyfish boys. Now, we have seen comebacks in that position. In experience, they're not that far behind anymore. It's level 20 versus level 20 in just a couple of seconds, and it's 4 points against 4 in regards to control on bell towers. We have seen crazier comebacks than 20 to 4. But it's not going to be easy. And also simply because you are finding yourself now in a position where Vala is stacked, Tacita is stacked, and that's a ton of damage. So the scaling is real. Absolutely real. Level 20 talents, they are ready for both sides now. So it's even fights from here on out. And, well, we already got our action straight up in the middle. So they're pushing this back, lockdown with 170 siege damage nearly. So yeah, controlling the side lanes as best he can. They're trying for Kyocha again, but this time they can't. No. He goes into the horror pull and is able to make it out. But here's the double altar. And of course, that's the point where once it's announced, the red team has to fight for both of them. They can't just simply let one of them go. Unless they take this. Oh boy. Yeah, they need to retake quickly. And the problem is, while they retake the bottom, the blue team retakes the top. And that means it's going to be 4 versus 4 again. So instead, they have now to take position at the top side. Nicely done by the Crying Kittens. Really nicely done. And they didn't even have the time to react to the push at the bottom of the map. So they just simply had to move to the top because they knew if they waste time at the bot lane and then the altar at the top left gets taken, that they lose. So Sylvanas is now channeling on the right side. Rest of the team is interrupting over here. But look at Zul. Lock down the barbecue. And he is dead. That's the kill against Zul. Mei is also in trouble, but she makes... No, she doesn't make it out. Scratch that. And that should be game. Unless a miracle happens, this is over. With Tychus dying, there's another wall. Stukov, he's also getting eliminated. And Sylvanas is the only one that is still alive, trying to jump around to at least get a kill. That's not happening either. So there's the Bolt of the Storm, but he guessed it already. The channel, they're waiting it out. They kill against Vala, and then Sylvanas gets dropped. We're going the full distance, everybody. We are going to game number 7. What a freaking tournament. What a final. Unbelievable. The best of 7 going the full distance as we are heading to the next map between Team Kyocha and Team Lockdown. I still don't believe it, but we're on the final map. Oh, guys, the series is tied again, and the grand final is on. Cursed Hollow is map number 7. The quick ban on Malfurion. The thing is, I can't even tell you how much prize money is on the line here. Initially, we had... I mean, it changes because there is also a split between the donations that the Korean community is pushing in. And I think by now we're talking for the grand final alone about $6,000 or $7,000 or something. So there is a fair amount of money involved here. Honestly, I think it would be better for the Korean scene if they would spread that money out over several tournaments and not push everything into one single event. But hey, by any means, awesome for the players involved here, and that of course motivates them even further. But just to put this out there, there is quite a bit of money on the line for both of the teams, so you want to win this one. And boy, it was blow for blow. The 2-0 lead for the red team. Then Team Kyocha comes back, ties the series. Lockdown pulls ahead once again, and now only to be beaten on Towers of Doom, and now we find ourselves on Cursed Hollow. The series continues, and we have the bans pretty much as we had in most of the games. Now, here in Cursed Hollow, also kind of noteworthy that we had the ban on Junkrat. We had Zeratul multiple times now banned out against Kyocha in particular. Tychus still comes in as the first pick. And as you can see, Diablo, easy peasy, is taken here too. So Ana together with that. Nano boost. First of all, the nano boost taken away from Odin, which they do quite a lot. If they get an Ana plus Tychus setup, that's what they try to do. We have Falstad, very early pick this time. Considering how reluctant a lot of the teams were to pick Falstad in the first place, this is a super high priority for him. And for Cursed Hollow, you have two bosses where you can use, of course, the ult. You can go for the Mighty Gust, you can go for the Wind Tunnel later. We have Stukov taken as the support now that Ana is taken away. She was oftentimes banned beforehand. But yeah, that slowly sets us up. So a little bit of a macro attempt, apparently, from the Jellyfish boys as they're heading into this. And yeah, off we go. Mei gets banned out. I mean, multiple times now played by Hebali now. So she's getting eliminated. Leaves us still with potentially... I mean, we could go into Garrosh again, but time will tell. I am missing a bit of a Tyrael pick. I mean, when we talk about Korean meta, I think in the quarterfinals we had some Tyrael plays, but ever since then, he didn't really appear here. If it's any region that is going to bring Tyrael back big time, then it is the Koreans. They always love that combo between the Sanctification and Greymane and played that a ton. There's the ban also against Mephisto. I love that, by the way. So immediately shutting that down, remembering what happened on Infernal Shrines and saying like, no. We're not going to get murdered by you on the final map and lose the grand final because of it. At this point, Hogga is in. Sylvanas also getting taken here. And, well, that is nearly rounding the draft out. And Hogga, of course, can on the map take a lot of camps here. We have two boss camps. We have the Bruiser camps and also the Siege Giant camps. So really nice to take all of that. Technically, we could still see a Sonya pick here. She's not quite as dominant in the meta here on the Korean server as she is in Europe. But she still saw quite a few... picks. And Chen is finally in! Chen was banned a lot in the semis, and now he makes it into the game, and we get the combo between Stukov and Varian. So they want to go for a kill comp. They go for Fat Illidan on side of Lockdown. They have Varian. They can go for a taunt with a follow-up Lurking Arm, and they got the damage. Falstad? Hinterland Blast? I don't think so, but it's possible. I really don't think so. Gust is just way too good as a utility tool. But let's have at it. Maiev! Final map, and they pick a Maiev in. Alright. Full distance, map number 7. This is the final one. Cursed Hollow is the map. We got a great lineup for both of the teams. Let's head into the final map of this grand final without further ado, ladies and gentlemen. Team Kyocha against Team Lockdown. The final map, it's Cursed Hollow, and I couldn't be happier. Cursed Hollow is such an awesome map. I love it. Was in the original alpha of Heroes of the Storm, and yeah, it's just fantastic. Back in the day when we didn't have enough maps, we had entire best of 3 series that were played exclusively on this map, and you would think that this is getting insanely boring very quickly, but there's a lot of ways how you can play the map, and it was always fun. Now we'll have on the left side Team Kyocha with Kyocha himself on Hogga, Haben on Diablo, Praise the Sun on Ana, Panagom on Sylvanas, and Saman on Maiev. On the right side of the map, it's Team Lockdown, with Lockdown himself on Fat Illidan, Frankel on Falstad, Crow on Stukov, Hebali on Varian, and Relic is playing Tychus. It's time to shine as we are heading straight into the action here, with a Varian Stukov setup on one hand, and Maiev on the other. Awesome stuff. Also again, once more, guys, if you enjoyed the coverage here and you're watching all of this on YouTube, then first of all, make sure that you hit that like button on the video. And of course, YouTube gives you now also the option to go for, an applaud for a video. So if you enjoy the coverage and the content here, that's one of the things that you can do to support the channel. If you want, hit that applaud button right underneath the video player. And by the way, thank you to everybody who did that in the past. It really means a lot, and the support goes a long way to keep all of the esports coverage here live. So a big shout out to all of the supporters. Now as the game here continues, we already had a little bit of a scary moment for Maiev, and she made it out, so nicely done by Samat here. Went straight into the pursuit of vengeance on level 1. I mean, if you already are hungering for vengeance, you should always pursue it. I don't think how else you would do that. The Storm Stout secret recipe, and guys, we all know what it is. It's pineapple on pizza. Of course, you have to put that pineapple on top of it. It just creates that flavor contrast that is so amazing. So it's not really a secret anymore. Chen, he was trying to keep it hidden for a long time, but it just didn't work out, and by now all the world knows that pineapple and pizza just go together. It's just what it is. So the camps are taken. We've passed the 1 minute mark, and the teams are heading straight in for the next 2 camps. We have both of them in this case going straight up for the Bruiser camps. The top has already been taken. The Siege Giant camp, I mean. We now have level 4 talents in action, and that of course means first and foremost that we're getting Taunt, but also the Master Assassin, everybody. Yep, that 10% attack speed, the most important part, is highlighted several times right now, since there's always confusion around it. The Koreans take it for the passive, not so much for the quest itself. And of course we have variations. I mean, we saw the bigger they are previously, but even against Diablo in this case, they're not using that, and they just want to go for the extra attack speed that also benefits Odin, which is one of the big problems, or one of the big power spikes on this one. Bit of an action against Haben here too, and that nearly killed Diablo, but he couldn't quite get the final damage connected here. So yeah, everything's on the line. There's a lot riding on this. There's a lot riding on this game now. So we have on the left side the blue team moving with nearly everyone they have down to the bottom of the map for tribute number 1. Falstead could of course fly back down from the top lane. There's a chance there. And here we have at it. Locked down again, getting attacked and jumping out right away, but they really want the Panda. Damn. They are trying to drop him over and over again. Another tether is also connecting, and this time Lockdown might be in trouble. Gets attacked, tries to go for the bottle. The bottle isn't a solution. It's not your friend. The bottle isn't your friend. I know, it seems like it, but it's not the case. So the Panda going straight in for the drink, but that's the end of him. And now Varian gets attacked too. They are bullying him completely. They taunt my F, but they cannot get the kill. So the only kill in the game so far for the Kittens was against the Panda. They're getting the channel here, and that's a hit. First one is locked in, still at the top. Falstad now with the secret weapon for a little bit more action over here that he's trying to push out. We got it in the meantime, of course, in the middle of the map, Lockdown, trying to take the experience once again. Not too far behind. They lost the first tribute, not that big of a deal. A couple of stacks coming together for Falstad, of course, as well now. But yeah, first fight didn't quite work out for them. Now again, as mentioned before, it's all about the taunt and the follow-ups from Stukov and the damage dealers. This is still where we're looking to Falstad. And as I highlighted earlier, technically you could go for the Hinterland Blast, but that's a bit too crazy, even for what we're seeing here. We have seen a couple of Hinterland Blast games in the recent past that shocked and awed opponents, but not enough to really justify the pick as a regular one. And Mighty Gust is just too damn good as a disengage tool to secure yourself a boss, for example, or even to just engage and push someone into a corner and get a follow-up on it. Would be funny, though. Okay, so now with the next tribute coming up, that's number 2. The Birdie has taken down to the bot lane, as he should, to push out the side and then move in. So they can turn this quickly into a 5 versus 4 for a limited amount of time, as long as the Hogger is also at the bot lane. Nobody is close to level 10 just yet, but it's only a level that's missing. So they're zoning them out slightly. Bird has flown into the middle at least, but here comes the taunt. The Panda already on Sylvanas as they're trying to get the kill here, zoning out completely. Hogger with tons of damage. He's not the only one. Maiev and yeah, Relic. Relic survives, but boy, that was a close call. Whew. That got spicy. The Panda died to Sylvanas though, so it's still a 4 versus 4. And since Tychus had to move into the middle to tap the fountain again, they're giving up on the tribute at least a little bit. Double sleep dart connect. Kyocha's coming in. There's the stun. Stukov! And he gets out. Stukov gets out. They're turning it on Apin. The Gust comes in. The level 10 ability is just a little bit quicker. And look at Granny. She's in trouble. Where's that sleep dart when you need it? And my F is back, and all of a sudden they're in trouble. They get the tribute, 1 tribute against 1, the double kill, the triple kill. The big slap over here. And now the terrain move. But Varian is still safe. Oh boy. 5 kills, 2-1. They got the tribute, but that was it. The bot lane still pressuring. But yeah, I mean, have a look at the fight here. So first of all, Maiev comes in and all of a sudden Tychus and Falstad are both in trouble, not the only ones. They drop first, but then Stukov gets taken apart too. Yeah, Maiev coming back, that just changed the entire outcome of the fight. Up to that moment, it seemed like Ana could die, but Maiev murdering everyone, and that is 5 kills to 1 now in total. And they have way more control over the map now. Now, yeah, there is another tribute spawning at the bottom of the map now. And, well, here we go. Here comes the play. Maybe. Taunt is in. Yeah. But they can't do anything about it. Every single time that the Lurking Arm comes out, Ana with another sleep dart attempt. Already the trouble for Relic. They're body blocking themselves here. Kyocha, on the other hand, gets completely isolated and he gets crushed as Variant comes in and drops him quickly. And Maiev is down too. Yeah, the Jellyfish boys, they are growing a spine all of a sudden, coming back into the team fight with a big double. And that gives them not only the tribute, but maybe even a follow-up kill. They're going for Dibbles. And Diablo gets body blocked. And could get taunted again too. They're coming in for him. And Granny. Yeah, she's dead as well. Easy kills. And that is, of course, the end of the fort. Whew. What a game. Honestly, if they scripted that shit, it couldn't be any better. 5 kills on each side, and it is blow for blow. The entire series has been bonkers, and it just continues in the same fashion as we are now on the final map. The only 2 champs, the only 2 heroes that have not died yet are Sylvanas and Varian. Both of them haven't died yet a single time. Now, with level 13 talents coming in, Chen, of course, could also still go for the top keg play here, as we have him with his ult still ready and of cooldown. We also got the containment disc for a little bit more isolation. Topside attack against the fort, but Varian is holding on to it. And it's a potential curse on the next tribute. The bot lane position, not really too bad. Bosses have so far been completely ignored by the 2 teams. Honestly, there wasn't really time. Always like big fights happening. Now, maybe a chance to go for it. Nah, not yet. The Panda is a little bit isolated here. I don't think he knows how much is coming his way. But he goes for the top keg play here. Easy peasy. Yeah, if the bottle doesn't do it, then the keg is the alternative. And that was a bit more successful for Lockdown as he was trying to stay alive here. The virulent reaction on 13. Now Pummel is ready for Hogger, the Neo Steel coding for Tychus, and everybody is moving down to the bottom of the map again. Falstad also flying back down, soaked a bit more XP, but here comes Maiev, gets the tether, Varian moving through, taunt also being used, sleep dart, containment disc, both of it on Chen, the terror movement, nano boosted Diablo with the lightning breath, and it just wasn't enough damage, and now they're trying to isolate him again. They're already moving in. And especially coming through with Tychus ult, they are pushing them back out, and this could be a curse. They have to fight for this one, or they're going to eat the objective right now. Another tether for Maiev as they're coming into the fight once again, but it's Sylvanas that dies. Sylvanas is down. Hogger pogging his way back out of the battle, but Kyocha cannot prevent the inevitable. It's going to be a channel on the 3rd tribute. Ooh. And they're timing it around the boss. They want to go for both of it. Someone's getting a little bit greedy over here. With success, I might add. 10 seconds on Sylvanas. Curse hasn't been taken yet. That's a boss, and that's a curse with boss. Now, the blue team isn't even going for the boss. Instead, they're going for the top 4, trying to take that. But this is going to hurt now. Oh, this is going to hurt a lot. Falstad is moving in with Catapult and Boss through the bot lane. They are a level ahead already. The top fort has fallen, and the rest of the team is also enhancing their push even further as they're trying to go for the keep. And who's going to stop them? They're going through the side wall here, making sure that they can go for the attack. Hogger is slowly rotating down, has to help out in the middle, of course, too. The curse still pushing on all lanes, but... oh my F. Close escape here. They are looking at level 16 talents. Are they going all the way with this? There is no way. Oh, woo, the jellyfish boys. All right, they are going all in on it. Here comes Odin, and they have the level 16 talent advantage. We are 11 minutes in the game, but they're going for the core. Nano boost on Sylvana. She gets pushed out. Diablo is dead, gets isolated. The top keg play against Sylph. The nano boost doesn't do anything. She's completely controlled. The core is falling. So is Maiev, and Team Lockdown on their way to victory in the grand final. The best of 7, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. A 4-3 win for the red team. What a finish in this final of the Fish Cup. GG and well played.